Welcome to Thursday Night Lights High School Football Game of the Week, presented by Wendy's. We're at Ken Holub Field in Waukesha as the Waukesha South Blackshirts take on the Catholic Memorial Crusaders. My name is Mike McGivern. I'm with Sports Radio 1250 WSSP, and this is the 1250 pregame show. I'm joined by the two head coaches of this game. We've got Coach Bill Young from Catholic Memorial, Coach Dave Roosh from Waukesha South. Dave, we're going to start with you. You guys both started out the season 1-1 non-conference games. What have you learned about your team in these non-conference games, both good and bad?
Well, the good is I think we have some good speed, some good perimeter kids, lacking some depth and some size, but hopefully our speed can make up for that. The bad would be the depth issue and some, brain locks, you could call it, on our special teams, which hopefully we repaired that.
Excellent. Coach Bill Young, same question for you. 1-1 in non-conference games, good, bad, kind of in general, what you've learned from your team.
Well, we coming into the season, we really felt we had some potential to be really a force offensively. We got won our first game 39 to 18, and then last week against Milwaukee Riverside, they've got great speed, and we got banged up in that game, and we wound up playing 8 sophomores at the end of the game, but our kids competed all the way through. It's like Dave said, you got a young team. We got 19 new guys playing, so, the deal is to get better on a weekly basis. And Waukesha South's got a great team, so we've got to try to keep Corey Boussard in check tonight. He's a terrific player.
Yeah, he really is. Guys, last week I had the coach from Aguanago on, and we talked about your conference. And when you're talking about the best conferences in the state, this conference is certainly in that conversation. How do you guys get prepared to get your kids to prepare, be prepared to play this kind of schedule starting this week and going through the end of the conference?
Well, it's as Bill can attest to, I'm sure, very, very little sleep, a lot of preparation, a lot of film, many hours, and my wife will attest to that too, as she scolds me to get to bed every night. But, you have to, because you don't get a week off ever. It's the battle constantly, day in and day out.
Yeah, I would agree. Coach, you've been coaching this conference now for a while. You feel the same way?
Oh, without a doubt. I would say, our league, along with, there's a bunch of good ones. Other leagues that are terrific too, but this league, you better bring your hard hats and lunch buckets on a weekly basis. And the deal is to be able to practice without getting your kids hurt or banged up during the week and be able to survive the schedule. Because it's tough.
I agree. Guys, get back to your teams. Really appreciate your time. Hey, by the way, good luck on Saturday with that wedding, huh? Daughter's getting married. Perfect time. Boys, go on back. We're going to get to a break. Other side of the break, I'm going to get you over to John Weiser and Dick Basham for the keys of the game. This is the Thursday Night Lights High School Football Game of the Week, presented by Wendy's, only on My 24.
With Hall of Fame high school coach Dick Basham, John Weiser with you. Ken Holub Stadium in Waukesha tonight. A Classic 8 conference opener between Waukesha South and Catholic Memorial. A couple of teams coming into play with 1-1 records. South winning last week over Milwaukee Hamilton. Riverside knocking off Catholic Memorial in a close contest a week ago, 21-18. And Coach, a couple of familiar foes going at it here tonight.
Yeah, this is your basic neighborhood battle. I think as the crow flies, there's about 1 mile between these two schools, and they know each other very well. Obviously, they're in the same conference, and both coaches have been coaching over 30 years, a lot of experience and wisdom out here. And on this hot night, I think it might take a little extra from the coaches in order to get it done.
Catholic Memorial coming off an appearance in the state tournament final last year, however, losing to West Superior 35-0, but they've got some great talent on both sides of the football, starting first on offense with their quarterback, Charlie Walsh.
Well, that's right. Charlie Walsh is an excellent player. He's a 3-year starter, but he's been an all-conference linebacker. Last year he was called into duty, and as a quarterback, when their starting quarterback got hurt, he played 3 games. They won all 3 games. This year he's got him off to a 1-1 start. He looks like a linebacker. He's not a real polished quarterback, but he's a real competitor. He runs very well. He throws the ball. He's got really good receivers to throw to, and he makes things happen, and you like to see that in a quarterback.
A superb sophomore in the defensive secondary for Memorial in Alec Coker. Boy, the coaches just rave about his performances.
Well, I've known Bill Young for over 30 years, and he said he hasn't started many freshmen. He started last year as a freshman. They got to the state championship game. I think they had 3 interceptions last year. He's a great track runner. He's a great athlete. He's about 6 feet, 270 pounds. He's a center fielder. He gets from sideline to sideline, and he covers a lot of mistakes, I think, and he's a really important player on their defense.
For Waukesha South, Corey Broussard, I'll tell you what, Broussard has just been all everything so far. He is second leading rusher in the state, 5 touchdowns last week in the win over Hamilton, and boy, he has got to be a featured back here tonight.
Well, I'm a former math teacher, and I'll tell you, Corey Broussard has got numbers. He was over 1,100 yards last year, averaged about 10 yards a carry. He's also a good receiver. This year in 2 games, he's almost 500 yards. I figured it out. Every time he carries the ball about 9 times, he's going to score a touchdown. So I expect to see him out in the open tonight. He's a 4.5 40 man, which is very quick. Fastest man in the field, and he's a 400-meter 4th place in the state meet last year. So if they can get the ball to him out in open field, Memorial's going to have a problem.
A feel-good story on defense, too. Clayton Rasmussen, their linebacker, having an outstanding early season.
Well, Clayton did not play football last year. He got his act together, so to speak, and came back this year as a starting middle linebacker. Both the defensive coordinator Jim Shea and Dave Ruiz, the first word they said about him was he's instinctive. He's a natural middle linebacker. He can go from tackle to tackle and make plays, and he's the leader of their defense, and he's going to have to make a lot of plays tonight if South is going to prevail.
That's our leaderboard in the pregame tonight, brought to you by Wisconsin Lutheran College, Academic Excellence, Christian Leadership. Time now for our keys to the game.
Well, Catholic Memorial, I think, is going to have to be good open field tacklers, and they're going to have to contain Corey Broussard. If they don't do that, then it's going to be very interesting. And I think Memorial, if they can win the battle in the lines on offense and defense, they'll be able to get control of the game. As far as Waukesha South is concerned, they need to get the ball to Broussard out in the open field where he can do a lot of damage. They need to complete some passes and loosen up the defense. And finally, if they can get some scores on special teams, which are kind of freebies, then I think they can stay in the game.
Pair of 1-on-1 teams set to do battle in Waukesha tonight. Our Thursday Night Lights presented by Wendy's. Opening kickoff coming up next on My 24. We're just about set for our ball game here tonight. Our black shirt marching band with the national anthem. Waukesha South black shirt marching band with our national anthem tonight. Ken Hollop Stadium in Waukesha. Catholic Memorial and Waukesha South set to open up Classic 8 Conference here tonight on a humid but breezy evening. Temperatures in the mid-80s at kickoff here tonight. Can only fall back into the upper 70s, but breeze out of the southwest here at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. With Dick Basham, John Weiser with you. Glad you're along. Third member of our crew tonight, Mike McGivern, as usual, our Thursday Night Lights crew here with us in Waukesha this evening. 1-on-1 teams here. Black Shirts coming off a win over Hamilton after losing to Nicolay in the season opener, and Catholic Memorial after a convincing win over West Dallas Central, dropping a game to Riverside last week.
Well, Riverside's a very good team. They have great speed, great athletes. And just Memorial just couldn't quite contain him enough to win. In their first game against West Dallas Central, they were down 18-0 and came back to score 39 straight to win. So they've had some problems with consistency on offense. On the other hand, Waukesha South is offense. They have Corey Broussard and Tyler Anamowitz, who are both outstanding backs. But Broussard gets most of the print, and he's legit. He's very fast and did play last year, had over 1,100 yards. So I think it's going to be a really interesting game.
Waukesha South 2 years ago, 1-8. They improved to 3-6 last year. So hopefully Coach Roosh makes that next step. A couple more wins would get you a playoff berth.
Yeah, that's for sure. They're going to be up against the wall a little bit tonight because a lot of their linemen go both ways, and on a hot night that can take its toll. On the other hand, Memorial seems to have a little more depth. So hopefully they can get enough timeouts at appropriate times, get them watered up, and keep them on the field.
Catholic Memorial won the coin toss tonight. They have deferred to the second half. They will kick off left to right here in the white jerseys. Black shirts dressed out in all black this evening. Mitch Meindl will do all the kicking tonight. Andy Colomb injured. Their starting kicker, place kicker, field goal kicker. So it'll be Meindl who will do all the punting and kicking tonight for the Crusaders.
It'd be interesting to see if they kick it deep or not. Knowing Bill Young, I would doubt that they will. It's probably going to be a line drive someplace and make somebody else return it. Corey Broussard is in the middle back there. Namowitz is on the left side. They're both are capable of taking it all the way back.
Great night for football tonight. A little on the humid side. Both schools in session. Public schools all starting across the state today. So everybody's had a taste of back to school here and getting into a routine now from here on out in our third week of the high school football season.
Well, coaches like routines, I can tell you that right now. They don't like to have all that free time all day long. As kids don't usually make the best use of that kind of time.
Meindl with the boot. We are underway, and Broussard will take it at his own 7. Across the 10, middle of the field, gets to the 20. Breaks a tackle there, out to the 24-yard line where he has stood up and dropped there. Mark Cage for Catholic Memorial, a senior, there to make the tackle.
Well, I was wrong. They did kick it to Broussard, and they covered it very well. Kept him. You just can't let him go straight down the field. He's got to be going east and west, as we say, rather than north and south.
Waiting for that wall to get set up, and then right into the hands of both Cage and Jake Showman. So 1st and 10 for the black shirts from Waukesha South. Ball spotted just shy of their 25-yard line. Bobby Johnson at quarterback. He'll have Broussard in the backfield. And they'll toss to Broussard. He gets to the line of scrimmage. Breaks a tackle there. Gets to the outside across the 30 and wrestled down at the 34-yard line. Gain of 9 on the play by Broussard. Good strong run over the left side. Coker able to make the tackle for Catholic Memorial.
Well, that play probably should have been a no-gain play, and this was pure athletic ability. Stepped out of that tackle there, bounced to the outside, carried a tackler about 3 or 4 yards, and that was all done on his own.
2nd and 1 for the black shirts. Ball at the 36-yard line, just shy of the 35, the 34-yard line. They'll send a man in motion far side, Pitchford. They'll swing it to Pitchford, trying to get the edge. He's covered there, breaks a tackle, gets back to the line of scrimmage. He'll be short of the first down. Good job out there by the corner on that far side.
Yeah, again, Isaiah Pitchford is a very good receiver, has the speed to get outside, but Memorial did a good job of stringing it out, as we say, and there was actually no gain on the play.
Brad Coker there on the stop defensively for Catholic Memorial. Again, we'd like to welcome First Bank Financial Center. It's a first down sponsor on Thursday Night Lights. First Bank Financial Center. Discover the community bank difference. This will be a 3rd and short, 3rd and about 1 for the black shirts from the far hash mark. They need to get across the 35 for the first down. Johnson tucked in under center, tight formation. Namowitz in motion. They'll hand it off to Broussard. He'll get the first down to the 36-yard line before he is driven back there by a host of Catholic Memorial players.
Well, that was a good surge by the offensive line. They really stood Memorial up and were able to get that first down. And that's important. They don't want to go 3 and out to start the game.
Jensen, Dentisi, Boer, and Cage, the linebackers for the Crusaders. And there you see Coker leading that, the Coker brothers leading the way in that secondary. Starting lineups have been brought to you by MRZ Promotions, the Midwest premier promotional company. Need swag? Needswag.com. 1st and 10, First Bank, first down. From the 36-yard line, Johnson, his first pass tonight should have been complete through the hands of his intended receiver, Isaiah Pitchford, the sophomore, dropped that football.
Well, that was a good timing play. It was there. It was in his hands. He would say that he should have caught it, and that's one thing that South can't afford to do. They need to make hay on every play that they can, and that's really unfortunate there.
Johnson on the year, 11 for 29, 1 interception. It's a junior, 5'10", 160 at quarterback for Waukesha South. And the give is to Broussard. Gets to the line of scrimmage, and he is ushered backwards that time. Sam Boer, the linebacker, initially in on the stop. No gain on the play. Brings up third, maybe a yard. So to bring up third and about 9 here for the Black Shirts. A down they've got to try to avoid here, the third and long distances.
Yeah, right. They don't want to be predictable. That was a little inside counter play where we have both backs crisscross. Namowitz came first, and then Broussard in behind him. They handed it off to Broussard. He had a good initial surge, but Catholic Memorial traditionally is a very good defensive team, and they were there and pushed him back.
This time they'll send Namowitz, the flanker, out here to the near side. They'll line up Pritzford in a slot near side. Broussard, the lone man in the backfield on third and long. Johnson rolling left. Wants to toss it out left side. Nearly picked off, incomplete. Looking for his man, the tight end, Anthony Schulis. And it was Brad Coker, the strong safety there, to break that one up.
There's one of the two Coker brothers, and he did have it in his hands. The ball was kind of thrown in between the two South receivers, and Coker had the best shot at catching it.
They'll drop Alec Coker back deep to receive this punt. And now we got an official stopping play here. We want to remind you that Thursday Night Lights is available streaming live online. Log on to my24milwaukee.com. Click on the Thursday Night Lights link. You can also find our complete game schedule, watch archive videos of our games, and even post your own photos. That's my24milwaukee.com. Noska to punt. Nice high spiraling kick. Going to drive the return man deep. Heinebeck, penalty marker down as he takes it out of bounds across the 30-yard line. This one will be coming back deep, as making the play was Brandon Ramsby for the Black Shirts.
Well, that was a great kick, and Montre Farr was down there to cover it. It was a little out of control. You'll see him right here, number 20. He got a push in the back right there, and that is a penalty. Allowed the receiver to return it, so that was a good call by the official.
So Catholic Memorial will start their first drive of the night with just under 9 minutes to go here in this first quarter in a scoreless ball game. Their first drive inside their own 20 tonight. We'll get our first look at Charlie Walsh, the quarterback. 5'11", 195, was all-conference at linebacker a year ago. Filled in for a couple of games when their starting quarterback got hurt last year, and is the leader on this team. Very smart, intelligent player out there for the Crusaders. Mindel split out here the near side. Andre Baden out to the far side. And the give is to the running back, Townsend. He pounds his way inside, getting across the 15 to about the 17-yard line. Anthony Schulis, the linebacker, there to make the stop.
Well, that was nothing fancy about that. That was just straight ahead, fullback dive football, so to speak. But they did get 2 tacklers on him right away, so I think a couple missed blocks, it looked like.
Pickup of 5, 2nd and 5, ball just across the 17-yard line. Also work from shotgun, has a slot here near side. They'll send the man back in motion to Ambeck, and it will be Wigman getting the carry out across the 30.
It's Walsh.
Walsh, the quarterback that time on the keeper, as we take a look at the offensive starters tonight for the Crusaders. Krause brothers, very strong in that offensive line.
Yeah, Degner is not playing.
A couple of nice split ends out there, a couple of nice receivers for Charlie Walsh to throw to.
Now that there you saw in that last play, Charlie Walsh carried the ball, just keep it, and that's what gives him another dimension a lot of quarterbacks don't have. He's another running back in the backfield.
This time, Tiana Beck gets the carry, has some running room, steps out of bounds across the 40, out near the 45-yard line. Brandon Ramsby right there. Another big gain of about 14 and a first down for Catholic Memorial.
Well, we talked about the speed that Waukesha South has, but I can tell you right now the Memorial also has a lot of speed. Tiana Beck was a 400, ran I think 4th in the 400 meters as a freshman in the state track meet, so he's got some wheels.
6'1", 161, the numbers on Tiana Beck. 1st and 10, Catholic Memorial at their own 45-yard line. This drive started inside their own 20 on the penalty on the punt. And they'll give it to Townsend. He has a hole up the middle, gain of 6, maybe 7 across midfield goes Townsend.
What you're seeing early here is that Catholic Memorial is dominating in the line, and that's going to be a problem for South if they don't get that under control.
Paul Carter there to make the stop defensively for the Black Shirts, but again, ripping off 5-6 yards at a time here off first down. Townsend, the lone man in the backfield. He'll get the call. Big hole up the middle. Dodges his way inside the 40 down to the 38-yard line. Ball on the turf, but they'll rule him down. Another strong run, gain of 13 and a first down for Casey Townsend.
Well, it was a good run. The blocking up front is excellent. Actually, Waukesha South changed their defense. They brought another lineman in and went to their 4-4 look, and it didn't really make a difference, at least on that play there.
Townsend coming in, averaging nearly 6 yards per carry, has a couple of touchdowns on the season, and boy, once he gets through that line, it's an explosion. That rockets go off. 1st and 10, Crusaders. Slot to the left here. Play action. Walsh going to air it out. Far side man there. Tianabic with the catch to the pylon. Touchdown, Catholic Memorial. Tianabic on the touchdown. Montre Farr, the defender there, but a ball well thrown, and Tianabic able to make hay.
Well, Charlie Walsh had plenty of time. He's a lefty, as you can see. He put the ball right on the money. Tianabic's got the speed, and right on the corner there where it's a very safe pass. Either Memorial gets it or nobody gets it, and we have our first score.
38-yard touchdown pass by Walsh, his second touchdown pass of the season. Mindel in to tack on the extra point. It is up, and it is no good. Wide to the right, 6-0 Catholic Memorial here. Just about midway through our first quarter here at Waukesha South Ken Holub Stadium. An impressive opening drive that started deep in their own territory.
Oh, that's true, it was. And that on that particular play, the outside receiver came to the inside on his pattern, and Tianabic came from the inside out. And they caught the defensive back a little bit out of position, and Charlie Walsh put the ball right on the money.
You get a good look at Catholic Memorial head coach Bill Young. 51 yards on the ground.
Right. 5 rushes, 51 yards. That's 10 yards a pop.
Let's head down to our third member of our group, Mike. Got Mike McGivern standing by. We'll get to him in just a moment. All right, toss it down to Mike McGivern.
Hey guys, thanks a lot. Here with Tommy Hafe. He's we said vice president, but he's district manager for Wendy's. They got a really, really cool beverage thing going on. Tommy, what's going on with the cup in your hand there?
Well, at Wendy's, if you biggie size your combo to a medium size, you can get a chance to win a VIP ticket to the Packer game, or you can win burgers for a year.
Burgers for a year, that's not bad. Anything else going on at Wendy's?
We've got our cheddar fries going on and our cheddar cheeseburger going on.
You know, the key is we want to say hi to Marley, his first granddaughter. Hopefully Marley's watching.
Hi, Marley.
Congratulations on that. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Mike. Kickoff through the end zone, the automatic touchback. Black Shirts will get the football on their own 20-yard line, their second possession tonight.
Mitch Mindel has got a great leg, I'll tell you that. That extra point was a little bit wide, but it was plenty long. That kickoff landed in the end zone on the fly.
I was impressed with his punting warm-up before the ball game tonight. 60 yards in the air.
Yeah, that's really important, especially against a team like South with speed. You want to keep them as far from the goal line as you can.
6-0 Catholic Memorial, an impressive opening drive. We'll march it into the end zone, the 38-yard touchdown pass. Now let's see how the Black Shirts respond. 1st and 10 from their own 20. They'll toss sweep here to the near side. Broussard trying to get the edge and does. Ushered out of bounds near the 25-yard line. Tossed out of there by Cole Hughley, the cornerback on the near side.
Well, that student body left. He just tossed the ball to the back, and he has the speed to get outside and outrun the defense. And that's an easy 5 yards.
This is what the Black Shirts need to be doing here on first down. Get them out of the predictable. Give them something to work with. 2nd and short, 3rd and short.
Yeah, that's exactly right. They do have good receivers. We did see the pass get dropped earlier, but they do have the receivers to move the ball.
Pitchford lined up in a slot far side along with Namowitz on 2nd and 5. On the draw play to Broussard, trying to spin out of a tackle, but is met right there in the hole. Justin Bauer, defensive tackle, right there to make the stop for the Crusaders.
Well, Memorial's very, very well coached up front, and they always have somebody that's spying on the draw and the screen. In that particular case there, he's able to make the play.
Gain of 1, 3rd and 4 upcoming here for Waukesha South. DQ Smith lined up here on the near side. Broussard in the backfield. Namowitz in motion. The toss goes to Namowitz, trying to come over the left side. Met and stacked up short of the first down. Sam Bohr, the linebacker here on the near side, able to stack him up nicely, driving Namowitz down to the turf.
Well, I'm a little surprised they haven't gotten the ball to him a little bit earlier. I see he's got his ankles taped. I don't know if he has an ankle problem, but he is a big, strong kid. Probably the strongest kid in their team. He squats about 450 and benches 350, so he's a real man.
Let's go downstairs to Mike McGivern.
Memorial side. Listening to the coaches on the Memorial side, they're talking about pounding it all day long. They're happy with that long pass, but they're looking for a lot of 4- and 5-hole traps, and they're going to just see if they can't take it right down the field this possession.
End over end kick by Nashka. Penalty marker down is Tianabik down the far sideline, cuts it back inside the 30 and dives forward just short of the 20-yard line. A beautiful return by the Crusaders, but we'll check out the penalty at the snap.
Well, that was one of those line drives punts that it's hard to get down and cover, and he caught it on the run, and with his speed, he's going to have an advantage right away.
This will be declined. It's on Waukesha South. Derek Nuska, the punter there to make the stop. And we're going to step out here with 5 minutes to go here in this first quarter. Catholic Memorial up 6-0. Thursday Night Lights in Waukesha, presented by Wendy's on My 24. Sam Tianabik with a nice return down to the 20-yard line sets up Catholic Memorial 1st and 10 at the 21-yard line. John Weiser, Dick Basham, Mike McGivern with you from Ken Holub Stadium in Waukesha tonight. Crusaders, their second possession of the night, and special teams shining here early on for Catholic Memorial.
Yeah, exactly. And this is one thing that South didn't want to do, is give them the ball in 4-down territory right away, because the way they can run it in there, that 4 downs to get 10 yards is not that big a challenge.
3 across here to the near side. Walsh in shotgun formation. He'll hand it to Townsend. Townsend met at the line of scrimmage. Buries his head inside the 20 down to the 18-yard line, 3-yard pickup, and the tackle made by Curtis Trotter, a junior for Waukesha South.
Yeah, that was a nice play by Waukesha South. They were on that play right away, which is what they need to do.
Gain of 4, 2nd and 6 coming up here for Catholic Memorial. They get a 38-yard touchdown pass from Walsh to Tianabik. Opened up the scoring here tonight. Again, 3 receivers. They'll line up a tight end here on the near side. Walsh looking to throw. Fade route, corner. Catch is made. Falls into the end zone. Touchdown, Andre Bodden. The junior, 6'3", 180 with the touchdown over Isaiah Pitchford on the corner.
Well, Pitchford was there. He got turned around, though, and got disoriented, and he's capable of making that play. But Bodden went up and got it. He's a very good receiver and similar in size, and just a jump ball, and he won the jump ball.
Bodden, his second touchdown reception of the year, 3rd of the season thrown by Walsh. And now with that missed kick for the extra point, you might see Memorial go for 2 here.
Yeah, I think they'll go for 2 and get it back on track.
Late arriving for the Black Shirts, Justin Lee, a linebacker here. And now the Black Shirts have to take a timeout. They may have too many men on the field.
Too many or too few, I can't decide. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. They're 1 short.
So timeout taken here by Waukesha South. 12-0 with the extra point upcoming here for Catholic Memorial. Special teams set up this drive once again. A good return in the red zone here for the Crusaders.
Well, special teams are really underestimated by probably a lot of football fans. Most coaches know the importance. About 1 out of 4 plays in a normal, evenly matched football game is a special teams play of some kind. And that's where a lot of close games turn. Somebody makes a play or doesn't make the play on a special team, and all of a sudden field position or a long run or whatever it might be can really turn the momentum in a game.
Wrestling fans, pro wrestling is back. Don't miss all of the high-flying, bone-crushing action of Ring of Honor Wrestling. That's Saturdays at 9, starting September 24th, right here on My 24. Bill in Kenosha, man, that's your favorite program. I know, we talk about that all the time.
Charlie Walsh is off to a good start. He's thrown 2 passes for 56 yards, and if my math is correct, that's 28 yards a pop, which is a problem.
The math teacher in you always shining here.
Yeah, he's on. I didn't have to get my calculator out for that one.
Well, a timeout by Waukesha South here, trying to figure out how to defend what appears to be a 2-point conversion for Memorial.
I would look for maybe to run an option, possibly some option type of play where they have a chance to. But on the other hand,
a little quarterback draw by Walsh, and he's not going to get in. 12-0 Catholic Memorial. 2-play drive, 21 yards, and the touchdown pass by Walsh.
So South needs to come up with a little bit of an answer here, I think, and establish something on offense because that's their strength. And Memorial so far has been able to blunt anything that they've got going.
An experienced coaching staff on that far sideline for Memorial.
Fritz Richter, there you see on the screen, he and Bill Young played football together in high school at Milwaukee Lutheran. Fritz is an excellent basketball official, too. I don't know if he's still officiating or not, but one time I know he was. You know, this field is named after Ken Hollop, who was a great coach here back in the, I'm not sure when he started, I would guess in the 60s, 70s, into the 80s. And at that time, Waukesha had one school. I don't know if it was called South at that time. I think it was just Waukesha High School. But Kenny used to play his games on Friday night, and then we would play out here on when I was at Marquette, play on Saturday, and he'd be the referee for those games. So he had football in his blood. He's a great guy, and it's rightfully so that this field is named after him.
Natural turf field, beautiful condition field here tonight.
Yeah, this field is that cardinal in the middle is a very impressive logo that they put on there.
Mindel has it teed up here on the 40. They've been kicking to Broussard, and they'll do it so once again. He'll take it on one hop at his own 5. Up the middle to the 20, trying to find a seam there. Cut off at the 25 and drop there. A 20-yard return for Broussard.
Well, one thing you're seeing is Memorial is doing a great job of staying in their lanes. They're spread all the way across the field. They're not showing him any gaps, and then they close. The coaching tactic on that is keep the runner in front and inside of you, and that net just closes in on him.
Brought down by Justin Dentisi, Jr., 6 foot, 186 for the Crusaders. So from their own 25, Waukesha South. Johnson under center. Broussard, the lone man in the backfield. He'll get the call. Turns the corner left side. Gets it out across the 30. Breaks a tackle there just short of the 34-yard line. Alex Coker diving through, the sophomore, able to knife him down.
Well, that's a good start on first down. So now they get into a situation they have some options here on 2nd and 2 that they can go to other than just pounding it in there.
We get a good look at the head coach, Dave Rush.
That's Dave Rush's 20th year here as the head coach. As Mike mentioned at the end of his interview at the beginning of the show, his daughter's getting married Saturday, and that's why this game was moved to Thursday night, so he can participate in his daughter's wedding, and I think that's a great idea.
Kitcha now is a fullback in the backfield. Broussard in motion. He'll get the toss from the left wing position out across the 35, close to a first down near the 36-yard line. Jake Carl's there to make the stop defensively for the Crusaders.
Well, that's that double wing formation that they get into, and you can see everybody, they got all 11 guys packed in there tight. They got a nice surge again. Just toss the ball to Broussard, and he finds a crack and gets in there for the first down.
A first down here for the black shirts from Waukesha South. As we approach the 3-minute mark remaining here in this first quarter, they trail by 2 scores. And they'll pass. They'll swing it out to Namowitz here on the near side. Makes the catch, cuts it back up the middle. Nice play out to the 39-yard line. Dentisi, the linebacker there, on the stop, but a good cutback that time by Namowitz. Tyler Namowitz, the senior, 6'2", 210.
Yeah, that's, of course, a high percentage pass. Just a little pop to him, and he plants his outside foot and cuts back to the inside, and you can see on that hit that he pushed the tackler back. He's a big, strong kid, and that's something they're going to need to do a lot of tonight, get the ball to him.
Gain of 3, 2nd and 7, just short of their own 40-yard line. Johnson in under center. This time in I formation, double tight end, penalty marker down, fumbled the snap, but this will go against the offense here. It might be a false start penalty.
See, that really hurts because now that goes back to 2nd and about 12 probably, and that takes them out of some of their options on offense.
Brings up 2nd down and 12.
So it takes them out of a 2nd and 7, make it a 2nd and 12 here, back to the 34-yard line.
Well, they got the tight formation in. That would seem to indicate that there's probably going to be a running play. But maybe look for that little counter play of some kind of misdirection.
Kitcha in the backfield, I should say, as the fullback. Namowitz lined up as a wing out to the right. And they're going to throw out to Namowitz. He's not even there, and it was nearly picked off, incomplete. Didn't get turned around. Sergio Rodriguez, the defender, saw it, nearly got the pick.
I think that was a miscommunication because Namowitz was talking to Kitcha to see about the play, I think, and I don't think he understood that it was a pass play.
Well, this is for Coach Young's defense now. Pin your ears back here on 3rd and long.
Yeah, and South was lucky that that didn't get picked off for a 6-yard, pick six, as they say. Now they're in their trips formation. 3 receivers out to the wide side and a split end over on the short side here.
Namowitz and Pitchford to the far side as Johnson drops back. Protection breaks down. Hit as he's thrown, and it'll go incomplete as he was hammered just as he delivered that football. Caleb Kraus in there, Logan Jensen, both of them there with the pressure.
Yeah, it's very difficult to throw under those conditions. He did have a receiver on the inside who was open, but he didn't see him, and it wouldn't have done a lot of good because he probably would have gotten nailed before he threw it anyway. But a few too many lookout blocks, as they say right there when they turn and yell, "Look out."
Alec Coker along with Sam Tajanovic. Back deep to receive an end-over-end punt. Coker will take it his own 30. Out across the 40, breaks it outside. Penalty marker down across midfield. Coker down the far sideline. Coker with a block, gets it inside the 20 down to the 19-yard line, but we do have a penalty marker back where he made his cut in the middle of the field near the 40-yard line. Nostra there to make the stop on the outside coming in, but let's check out the penalty here.
Well, Derek Noska made a nice play on that because he was the last guy that could make it to play. So he punts the ball and then makes the tackle. That's not a good situation.
A block in the back. Second time tonight that they've had that penalty on special teams.
Well, there you can see the play. I didn't quite pick up the block in the back, but I'm sure that there was one.
It was right at that point where he was running and then wanted to cut it to the outside hash.
Yeah. And that's what happens when they change direction. Sometimes the coverage change its direction. And, of course, the rule is if you can read the guy's numbers, you don't block him. Read his back numbers, don't block him, don't touch him. Just wait till he turns into you, and then you can block him.
So first down for the Crusaders. Penalty moves them back to their own 33-yard line.
Black shirts need to get a stop here. That's a good start right there.
You called it, Coach, right there. Clayton Rasmussen, we talked about him in the pregame, stepping up, making the play in the middle that time for the Black Shirts.
Looks like they might have had a little blitz on. They're back to their 3-5 defense, so there's an 8-man front. It looks like they brought a lot of people that time, taking a chance that it wasn't going to be a pass play.
Loss of 1, 2nd and 11 coming up.
Well, Memorial likes to run the option. We haven't seen that tonight. They are in a formation where they can do that now. We'll see if that happens.
Black Shirts showing blitz, back it off, and there's the fake. Walsh with room. Out across midfield, he is gone. Walsh will take it all the way. 69, will he get in? He's just short.
1 foot long.
They'll put him at the inside the 1, saving the touchdown. Chasing him down was DQ Smith.
Yeah. He had the angle on him. Charlie is a linebacker at heart. You got to remember that, but he runs very well, and he's a big, strong kid.
Well, they were all keying on Townsend that time. The minute they faked it to Townsend, he went into the line. Everybody collapsed on him.
That was that option that I had mentioned, that he rode the back, rode Townsend and pulled it out and just took it down the field and then cut back against the flow. And this game's getting out of hand here pretty early.
68-yard scamper that time for Walsh. First and goal inside the 1. Charlie Walsh in under center this time. He will give to Townsend, dives forward, touchdown, Catholic Memorial.
Touchdown.
Late call by the officials, but we could see clearly up here he had fallen across the plane of the goal. So we get a look at the touchdown run.
Good surge by the guys in the white shirts there. You see 72, 74 in the end zone with the good blocks.
It's Noah Kraus and Justin Bauer for the Crusaders on that offensive line. Casey Townsend with the touchdown and makes it an 18-0 ball game here, Catholic Memorial. They will go for 2, having missed on their last 2 opportunities.
They're going to throw it this time.
They'll toss it. Tianabek trying to get the corner far side. He will. 2-point conversion for Tianabek. And it's a 20-0 lead for the Crusaders here late in this first quarter.
Well, they had a trips formation out there, but they decided to toss it to their speed guy, and he was able to outrun everybody to the pylon.
20 push-ups for the Wisconsin National Guard.
Waukesha South faithful here
1,
tonight.
2, 3, 4.
As the National Guard doing their push-ups in that east end zone.
All right, well, Charlie Walsh has 2 rushes for 80 yards and 2 throws for 56 yards. That's a pretty torrid pace he's setting. And that last drive was 3 plays, 68 yards for a touchdown.
Coach Young on that far sideline, 37th year at Waukesha Memorial, 34th as the head football coach. What does that compute to? You're the math guy.
Yeah, he's actually been the head coach at that school for half the history of the school, which is impressive. Of course, I've known Bill for a long time, coaching against him back in the old Metro Conference. We had a lot of great battles right on this field right here, and I have a lot of respect for him. There isn't anybody who's a bigger, more competitive than Bill Young is, and his teams show it year after year. They're an undersized school in a big conference. They only have 700 students in school this year. Most of the other schools in that conference are probably 1,400 up to over 2,000, so he does a great job.
Playing up in a conference is one of the smaller schools, and it really gets them prepared for that Division III playoff. This is a line drive kick that's going to hit the short man. It's going to go out of bounds inside the 5-yard line. Tough break for Waukesha South.
Wow, if they didn't have bad luck, they wouldn't have any luck. I mean, that hit him right in the head and bounced out of bounds.
Brandon Ramsby, 6'1", 166, the juniors. We get another look, and it just caromed right off his shoulder pad and out of bounds.
He must have lost it or something, because it wasn't that difficult to catch. And not only that, it went backwards. So,
the Black
Shirts. Like they're at the about the 4-yard line. This is a good time to just air it out, see if you can get lucky right here.
Let's go downstairs to Mike McGivern.
Hey guys, I'm watching the bench Waukesha South. I'm a little surprised. Coaches are talking to the offensive line a lot. Nobody yet has talked to the quarterback or the receiver or the running back. Bouchard, the quarterback, one of their wide receivers sits off to the side and nobody talks to them. And I'm a little surprised by that. These guys need to be coached up a little bit here tonight.
Interesting observation by Mike McGivern as Broussard stays out of the end zone, going to be driven back inside the 2-yard line. A swarm of Crusaders there, led by Justin Bauer, the defensive tackle. As time will expire here in this first quarter from Waukesha tonight, our Thursday night lights at Holub Stadium at Waukesha South. Crusaders on top of the homestanding Black Shirts through 1 on My 24. Well, they let the zoo out early tonight.
Yeah, look at that.
Waukesha South crowd here tonight at Holub Stadium.
After one day of school, they're just all drained.
Well, the Black Shirts pinned back inside their own 2 here on 2nd and 11 to start this second quarter.
Well, that looks like a rugby scrum there. They're all in tight.
Toss it out near side, looking for Namowitz, overthrown, incomplete. On the trail, Sergio Rodriguez, the corner here on the near side on the coverage.
Well, he had position. The ball it had to be a perfect throw, and he did overthrow it just a little bit. I did notice in practice this week when I was out here that Johnson has a little bit of a tendency to overthrow, and that's been the case so far tonight. He does have receivers who can catch and run, so hopefully they can start making some connections here.
And Namowitz, 2 for 20, a 10-yard average coming in, 132 yards rushing.
Of course, the defense now, the defense got them backed up. They got a 3-touchdown lead. They don't have a lot to worry about. They can just pin their ears back and get after them.
3rd and long from the end zone, hit from behind, ball loose in the end zone, picked up for the touchdown. Dentisi, are they going to call it incomplete? They will. Dentisi got a hand on the quarterback. Johnson hit him at just before he let it loose.
Yeah,
They'll call it a forward pass.
The referee was right there. The ball did go backwards, and that's indication that it's an incomplete pass. If it went forward, then it would be more apt to be called a fumble.
Bohr was able to pick it up, but it was ruled a forward pass, so an incomplete pass sets up 4th down.
And this is not good either, because the possibility of getting a punt blocked or getting a return. Memorial is either going to probably go for the block, or they're going to block everybody in tight and not let them out to cover.
They're short a guy here on special teams once again, and again the Black Shirts burning a timeout on special teams. They didn't have one earlier for the 2-point conversion, now have to take a timeout here. They were short a player.
Well, they obviously are not mentally quite into every play that's going on here. Looks like Rasmussen might have been the one who wasn't in there. He seemed to saunter onto the field there into the huddle. And that's unfortunate, because they need every break they can get, and it's worked exactly the opposite for them.
Again, I want to remind you that Thursday Night Lights is available streaming live online. Log on to my24milwaukee.com and click on the Thursday Night Lights link. You can also find our complete game schedule, watch archive videos of our games, even post your own photos. That's my24milwaukee.com. 4th down, having to kick out of his own end zone here.
Yeah, and his personal protector was the guy who wasn't in the game, so that would have been fatal if they hadn't called timeout.
Low snap, and it's partially blocked out of the end zone. Ball will fall across the 15-yard line and roll dead at the 17.
Well, I think you caught the end of that, John. That was a perfect snap, and he dropped it. And that's not wow. It couldn't get any better or worse than that.
17-yard line of the Black Shirts.
Karszewski there on the in on that play.
I didn't catch the number. Here it is right here.
Let's get another look at it.
See, number 79 for Waukesha South coming off, seems to be in some pain.
Late arriving on the field here for Catholic Memorial from the 17-yard line. Play action, going to throw. Caught here on the near side. Breaks free inside the 10, inside the 5, short of the pylon. There's a beautiful pitch that time by Walsh out to Baden. Baden, the junior, 6'3".
Yeah,
Clayton Rasmussen was there to make the play.
Yeah, stepped out of the tackle and was able to make the play here. You see the throw right here. The timing throw, stepped inside, stepped out of that tackle, stiff arm there. And Rasmussen comes all the way from his middle linebacker position to knock him out of bounds.
We had an injury on the play, but Charlie Walsh has had an outstanding first quarter coming in here to this second frame.
I think that's number 61 I see down, but we don't have a number 61 on our roster for Waukesha South, so I can't tell you who that is.
There's a look at Walsh's numbers tonight. A couple of passes for 58 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 carries for 80 yards. Our leaderboard tonight brought to you by Wisconsin Lutheran College, Academic Excellence, Christian Leadership. Well, it's 51.
51, sorry about that. That's why. That is Andy Allen Sanchez, their center, and nose guard. Senior,
seems to be okay.
5'8",
So
184, and
I think he walked off. Looks like he'll be able to come back.
Get some treatment here on the
Checking
near
him on the
sideline.
bench.
Meanwhile, that 15-yard pass play to Biden sets up a 1st and goal for Catholic Memorial inside the 3-yard line. And Townsend right up the middle for the touchdown. Second one tonight for Townsend. Right up the gut.
Right over the right guard, who is Noah Kraus, a sophomore. There it is right there. Direct snap to the quarterback. He just turns, puts it in the belly of the running back, follows his blocking. 3-yard touchdown.
About the only thing Memorial hasn't done correctly tonight is the extra point.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
They have struggled on this one here tonight.
I guess if you're not going to do it right tonight, this would be a good night to do it, since you don't seem to need him right now.
Single back is Townsend. It's a fake to Townsend. He'll get it to the end zone for the 2-point conversion. Actually, it was Townsend. A good carry out from the fake by Walsh.
It was a great fake. I had me fooled.
So Townsend able to get the 2-point conversion, bumps the lead to 28-0 early here in this second quarter. A rough start tonight for the Blackshirts, coming off a win last week as they were able to knock off Milwaukee Hamilton in convincing fashion, 48-22. Broussard with 5 touchdowns in last week's ball game.
And on the other hand, Memorial's coming off a loss, and knowing Coach Young the way I do, I'm sure he was not in a really good mood this week. And he's got a seasoned veteran staff. The staff has over 100 years of experience. I know several of them. Bob Vitale, his defensive coordinator, was a head coach at Menominee Falls for a few years, then became principal at Falls and was not allowed to coach anymore, so he came back to his alma mater. He played for Bill Young back here in the 80s. He's a very good player. He coordinates it. One of his former line coaches, Ed Bauman, who just was inducted into the Hall of Fame, is back working with him. Bob Hall, who was head coach at Waukesha North for a while, is now the principal at Catholic Memorial, is the offensive coordinator. So they've got a lot of experience over there, and they know how to deal with adversity, and they seem to have their team ready to play.
Down to Mike.
Hey guys, here with Ryan Fitzsimmons from Boucher Automotive. Ryan, tell us what's going on at Boucher nowadays.
Oh, we got lots of great stuff going on. We have a blood drive coming up next Tuesday between 10 and 3 at our Boucher Hyundai store in Waukesha.
Excellent. Hey, you guys do a ton in the community. You also got a couple other things coming up, correct?
Correct. Hyundai is Hope on Wheels campaign is in September. So it's a way that we can give back to children's hospitals with cancer research, and that Boucher actually teamed up with Hyundai last year to give $50,000 to Children's Hospital here in Milwaukee.
You know, Ryan, each week I think we talk more and more about Boucher Automotive giving back to the community. Really, thank you so much for doing that.
Thank you guys for having us here. It's great to be part of the community.
Excellent. Back up to the booth.
Ramsby with the return out to the 25-yard line. Danny Prager in on the stop for the Crusaders. 1st and 10 from the 25 for the Blackshirts on this drive.
Well, they got a little bit better field position than they had the last time after it went out of bounds. So let's hope that they can find a couple of tricks in their bag that can get some movement here and get back in this game.
Yeah, it's early yet. We're still first minute of play here of the second quarter, so still plenty of time to find something to work here for the Blackshirts. Tight formation.
Memorial's got 9 guys up on the line. Of course, they're in the double wing.
They'll toss to Broussard. Penalty marker down as Broussard gets the edge across the 30, dives forward to the 34-yard line. Brad Coker there to make the stop, the strong safety for the Crusaders, but I think we got 2 men in motion here.
Right.
The penalty coming up here against the Blackshirts, and for the 3rd week in a row, Dick, a lot of penalties early.
And the team that can least afford them is the one that's getting a lot of them, and that's here they had that double wing formation to get everybody packed in tight, and then they try to spring the sprinter to the outside and get the yards, which they were able to do, but to no avail.
So 5-yard walk-off against the Blackshirts. 1st and 15. The ball just short of the short of the 20-yard line. Our faithful tonight, some Waukesha South crowd here this evening.
I still think just sending somebody deep one-on-one and airing it out is got some potential here just to get them backed off.
They give it to Broussard, and he is met in the backfield. May have lost a yard as he was wrestled down there. A couple of Crusaders in immediately on the play.
I just don't think they're going to get anything up the middle. They need to go to work the edges as much as possible.
Jake Carls was there defensively. He'll get credited for the tackle there. A loss of 1, 2nd and 16. Once again, downstairs to Mike McGivern.
Hey guys, listening to the coaches on Waukesha Memorial, defense feeling really good, obviously. Coaches are yelling at them to keep focused, not let up, and get plenty of water. They're feeling real good on that side of the field.
As they should, leading by 28 here. Is the pass complete here to the near side. Nice little pass to Pitchford. Isaiah Pitchford with his first reception. Brad Coker out there defensively for the Crusaders.
Well, that's that same pass he dropped the first time they threw it, and this time he gets the catch and makes a little move and gets a couple extra yards.
Gain of about 3, 3rd and 13 upcoming here for Waukesha South.
Still not a good situation, though, when you have 3rd and 13. It's pretty predictable what you have to do.
Pittsford the slot to the far side along with Namowitz. Will try and set up a screen to Broussard. Has some blockers in front. Down the sideline and ushered out of bounds across the 30, maybe the 32. Well short of the first down. Cole Hubley there to make the stop for the Crusaders.
Well, that was a nice call. I think that was a pretty obvious play to run, but they executed it very well. They got that screen, the 3 interior linemen, what we used to call Huey, Dewey, and Louie, get out in front and get just plow away so the back can follow them.
Huey, Louie, and Dewey? Is that what you called it in Marquette?
That's what you called them, yeah.
We had Mo, Larry, and Curly at St. Joe's.
Okay, well, that makes sense.
Our record kind of showed that, too. 4th and about 3. A new punter back there. Brock Mickent. And they'll get away from this one as it bounces. And it will be touched dead there at the 35-yard line.
Okay, not bad. They got some field position out of it.
DQ Smith down there to cover that one up. So it'll be Crusader football at their own 35-yard line. 28-0 lead here, and trying to get back in the win column. They knocked off West Dallas Central in week 1, 39-18. As we said, had to come from behind, scored the final 39 points in that game, and then got locked up in a tough battle with Riverside, who, I'll tell you what, impressed with Riverside's schedule. They open up Bradford, then they play Catholic Memorial. I understand they're going up to Menominee, Michigan to play Menominee.
Michigan. I can tell you the boys in Menominee, Michigan know how to play football.
Single wing.
They run I believe they still run the single wing up there. One of the few teams in the country that does. A great offense from way back in the 50s and 60s.
Rasmussen on the stop on Walsh. That'll pare those numbers, rushing numbers, down a little bit for Walsh, the quarterback.
Right.
Squeaked out a yard, sets up 2nd down and 9.
Yeah, Corey Broussard only had 28 yards on 8 carries in the first quarter, and that's well under his average per carry, so you got to give Memorial credit.
Bodden split out here the near side from shotgun. Walsh going to try and cut back to the slot receiver, makes the catch. Tianovic there to make the reception, but hit the turf immediately for little, if any, gain there.
Maybe got a foot. It's a high percentage pass, but and he did have some position, but the ball wasn't thrown well enough that he could make a catch and stay on his feet.
Saw a shot of James Kitcha there, the linebacker, 5'11", 210. Going both ways tonight, both on offense and defense. And one of the few times tonight, 3rd and long, 3rd and about 9 here for the Crusaders as they roll the receiver here to the near side. As that is Nick Young. And Tianovic gets it short of the first down, stopped at the 44-yard line. Schulis there with the tackle. Short, sets up 4th down.
There's a sweep coming right into the camera, and I'm impressed by Tianovic. He has a lot of good instincts. He cuts well. He seems to see the field really well.
We're talking with the Memorial coaches before the game. They really like him.
Yeah, he's
track guy.
Track guy. He's only he's a junior now, but he's you're going to hear about him this year and the year to come.
Meindl with the punt. Gets off a nice one here. Namowitz will plant inside his own 20. Trying to cut forward. Got a couple there. immediately in his grill that time was Brad Coker. And Kading was also there, almost immediately covering up Namowitz for a short return of about 2. 1st and 10 for the Black Shirts. 7:43 to go here in this first half.
South had good pressure on that punt that time. They weren't that far away from blocking it. And Namowitz made a good catch there. He might have fair caught it. There was pretty good pressure, but he had confidence in his ability to deal with it.
Now let's see if the Black Shirts can get untracked here on offense.
Well, back in that tight formation again. It brings Memorial's got 10 guys packed in that box with the offense, and they're just
waiting for Broussard there, and he gets the pitch out across the 25 out to the 26-yard line. Broussard with a nice run. Dentisi there on the stop.
That was a nice run. He just weaved his way through there because Memorial was one of the ways you judge a good defense is by how many guys are on their feet. And I only saw one guy go down on Memorial, and they all skated right across there. Were able to throw that net over that fast running back.
Can't make the tackle if you're on your back.
That's right.
Gain of 6, 2nd down 4 from the 27. Johnson in under center. Going to pass, 3-step drop, looking for Namowitz out far side, overthrown. Lucky that was not picked off once again, as out there defensively for Catholic Memorial was Sergio Rodriguez.
I think Bobby Johnson's feeling a little bit of the pressure that he's been getting. He didn't have any pressure that time, but he rushed that throw, threw it off his back foot, and when you do that, the ball just sails on you.
Yeah, the key to get the feet set when you deliver the football.
And shift your weight forward to your front foot.
Yep.
Otherwise, you're just aiming that gun up in the air, and that's where the ball goes.
3rd and about 4 from the 27-yard line. Showing blitz. They give it to Namowitz out across the 30, close to a first down. Alex Coker there to make this tackle, a free safety. And let's see where they spot this one.
Well, that was a nice
It'll
play.
be a first down.
Double wing right there. Toss it to the motion man. Coker's their power back. He takes it up in there and knocks a couple guys down and gets the first down. They haven't had many first downs. I don't know if that might be their first, maybe their second one, yeah.
Coker, the sophomore, 2-year starter. Well, he's got potential to be something really big before it's all said and done.
Right.
So first down for the Black Shirts at their own 32-yard line. Play action. Johnson with time. Delivers. It is picked off. Intercepted. Intended for Broussard. It was Coker right on cue, making the pick for the Crusaders and returns it back to the 41-yard line.
Well, they're sending one receiver out, so it's not hard to figure out who to cover. And if you're the free safety, which means he's free to go cover whatever he wants in most cases, he's over there to pick that play off. And again, Bobby Johnson's got a good arm, but he has a tendency to overthrow, and that's exactly what happened there.
Had 3 interceptions last season as a freshman starter for that Crusader defense. Gets one here. Sets up the Crusaders 1st and 10 at the Black Shirt 41. Walsh will give to Townsend. The middle inside the 40 down to about the 38-yard line. Pickup of about 3. Clayton Rasmussen, our other key tonight on our pregame with the stop.
Well, he's living up to his billing at that middle linebacker. He's making a lot of tackles. And that was just a short gain, about 2.5, 3 yards. And so that's manageable.
There's our Black Shirt fans here tonight.
The red bandanas, red and black bandanas.
We'll go through a lot of them on a humid night like tonight. Walsh on the keep after the fake to Townsend, takes it inside the 36 to about the 35-yard line.
Now that's the play he had the long run on a little bit earlier, and this time they were able to defend it better.
I believe it was Paul Carter there defensively.
Actually, there's all kinds of Black Shirts, but you were right. He was the first one to make the contact.
Sets up 3rd and about 4 for the Crusaders. Clock rolling here. 5:15 to play here in this first half. Dominated by the Crusaders. Walsh going to throw with time. Over the middle, man wide open. Touchdown. Catholic Memorial. Mindell, the split end, getting past Johnson for the score.
That was a perfectly thrown ball. It was a well-run route, a little post route right down the middle of the field. Got inside position on the cornerback, and bingo, in the end zone.
Well, did you see how quickly he got his feet set delivering that football, though?
Yep.
That is good stuff.
He's a very good athlete. Obviously, he's been playing for 3 years.
First touchdown reception for Mindell.
Mm-hmm.
Now they'll
good night, good kicking, good catch it and kick it.
They'll tack on the extra point here. It is on the way, and this one is good. Dominating game here early on by Catholic Memorial. They're up 35-0 on the homestanding Black Shirts from Waukesha South. We'll step out and take a break. Thursday Night Lights presented by Wendy's on My 24. Our Thursday Night Lights Real Fan Cam is presented to you every week by Wendy's. Wendy's, you know when it's real.
Well, we're seeing a pretty good demonstration of football by Catholic Memorial there. The Crusaders are on a crusade, let's put it that way.
Efficient.
Efficient, yeah.
I think that's one of the words you can use to describe Coach Young through the years.
Yeah, I agree. Charlie Walsh, their quarterback, is 5 for 5 passing, 108 yards, at least 2 touchdowns, I believe.
And again, was an all-conference linebacker a year ago, coming over to quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Coach Young talking to his interior lineman here.
Yeah, that's the guy putting his helmet on is Caleb Krause, who has been a 4-year starter for him, all-conference. Bill said he's never had anybody start for him for 4 years. That obviously means he played. He's a lineman that he played as a freshman.
Mindell set to kick this one off, and we got new sets of return men back there for the Black Shirts. They'll be anchored by Pitchford, the sophomore, in the middle. And what a boot this was. Mindell, that's going to hit the fence on one bounce. Look out, camera. Camera out by that goalpost there. Nearly short hopped the camera.
Right.
And that's kicking into a bit of a breeze out of the southwest tonight.
He's not getting a lot of help. It's mostly across the field.
So 1st and 10, Black Shirts from their own 20-yard line. And gotcha time now for this offense.
Yeah, it really is. If Bobby Johnson could just settle down a little bit, get the ball down, and give us receivers a chance to get their hands on it, I think they could make some progress here. They're into their trips formation. Got a little confusion here.
Yeah, Ramsby late to get on the field. Gets set. They'll give it to Broussard. Out across the 20. Missed one tackle, but gobbled up right there by Hubley, the corner, right here on the near side, able to trap him down.
Well, I'll tell you, Broussard bounced out there, but if you watch the footwork of Hubley, that was excellent. He kept his outside position, stayed breakdown. He did not let him get the edge and made a great play. And here's Corey Broussard. I'm not sure he's feeling too well. He's been taking a pretty good pounding. He wasn't back on the kickoff return where he normally is.
So they'll put Namowitz back there, along with Kitcha. And they'll give to Namowitz on the inside give, and he gets it out across the 25, wrestled down by Brad Coker near the 27-yard line.
That's a play known as an inside counter. It looks like the play is going to the right, and then Namowitz comes back off the wing and takes it inside handoff and goes off the left tackle. Had a nice gain there.
Well, 3rd and 3 now for the Black Shirts from their own 27-yard line.
It's one of those in-between situations, 3 yards. It's maybe too far to run, not far enough to pass. We'll see what Waukesha South thinks here. Based on the formation, I think they're going to run it.
Kitcha in tight behind the quarterback, Johnson. Pritchard will get the toss. Pitchford is met in the backfield, may have gotten a yard out of it. As Catholic Memorial had that play snuffed out perfectly, Jake Carl's in underneath that time to make the stop. Isaiah Pitchford, a sophomore, 6 foot, 160.
Good player. He's got a lot of athletic ability. He's got a good career ahead of him, I think, here at South.
Came in averaging a bit over 7 yards a carry. Now we're short another player on that left end side here on special teams.
We've got a few guys dinged up, and the backups are not getting in.
Now we get everybody set. And the boot. That'll be a knuckler. Memorial will let it bounce. It'll roll inside the 30. Good black shirt roll.
Yep.
Down to the 27-yard line. So Catholic Memorial from inside their own 30-yard line to start this drive. CW18 is TV to talk about, and starting this fall, Southern Hospitality returns to prime time with Heart of Dixie, where small-town values meet big city drama. Don't miss Heart of Dixie starting Mondays, September 26th on Milwaukee's CW18.
Well, there you see a shot of the sideline, the Memorial sideline, Coach Young. He will be serious all the way to the end. You won't see a smile on his face until the final second comes off.
Here comes Walsh, the quarterback, over the 35 to about the 38-yard line, just shy of the first down. A 9-yard run by Walsh, who's been perfect tonight throwing the football. This time on the run just right up the middle on the quarterback draw.
On a measure, I think. Yep.
Well, while they bring the sticks in for a measurement, be sure to listen to the Wendy's Varsity Blitz Scoreboard Show Friday nights at 7 on Sports Radio 1250 WSSP. Get updates and scores from all the area high school football games. That is the Varsity Blitz Scoreboard Show. I listen in. That's where I get all my information, right there on Sports Radio 1250.
I think that is...
First down.
Shot there of Tyler Namowitz, yeah. Getting a rest. Been playing. He plays both ways. Plays outside linebacker and running back. And not like tonight. You got to make sure you get water in these guys. Otherwise, they're going to start suffering cramps. And the second half here.
That was enough for a first down, a first bank first down here for the Crusaders. Penalty marker down. Townsend busts it outside across midfield. Townsend down the near sideline, stepped out at the 47-yard line of the Black Shirts, but a penalty marker at the line of scrimmage.
Well, that was a nice looking play, a nice run. It might be a holding call out here on the edge. Yep. False start.
That a sin on the mental side there for the Crusaders. Good stiff arm there by Townsend to break it outside.
He's another good running back. Memorial's got two running backs in Tiana Bick and Townsend.
We haven't even mentioned Karszewski at running back, another senior, 5'9", 159.
I would think in the second half that Coach Young would probably start to do some substituting, give some of the younger players a chance to play a little bit. Memorial plays Arrowhead next week, and that's a big game for them.
Walsh tonight 5 for 5, as you see there. 3 touchdowns tonight for Walsh. 1st and 15. Quarterback keep. Tries the outside with a hole across the 40. Still on his feet. Takes it near midfield. Should have enough for a first down. 17-yard run that time by Walsh. Cutting it back to the right side. Shoeless was there defensively.
Memorial's showing you that they have a dynamic offense. They have a lot of guys who can move the chains. They are able to get receivers open. They go to the ball very well. And I think this team's going to get better. They have a lot of young players. It's going to get better as the season goes on.
1st and 10, shy of midfield. They'll hand it off. Tianovic coming around the near side. Out across the 45, down to the 41-yard line, close to another first down. Once again, Shoeless there on the stop. Just a good, strong run by Tianovic. Flanker, junior, 6'1", 161, another track guy for Catholic Memorial.
Does a really good job of following his blockers, using his blockers, setting them up. A really good running back helps the blocker set up, and by setting up the block, by showing one move and then taking that away and going the other way.
2nd and 1. High snap. Walsh brings it down, gives it to Townsend. He'll get the first down. Spins inside the 40 to the 39.
First down, yep.
Rasmussen was there on the middle linebacker spot. Another first bank first down here for the Crusaders late in this first half, leading 35-0.
And this no-huddle offense is really wearing down Waukesha South.
Going to throw it out to the outside, and the pass is dropped incomplete. Looking for Karszewski that time, coming in as a flanker. First miscue tonight by Walsh throwing the football.
Anthony Schuler's had his hand on him, but couldn't quite make the interception. So that was fairly well covered. First pass that's been incomplete tonight, if I'm not mistaken.
Dave Roosh, the head football coach here at Waukesha South, had a nice experience this summer.
Yeah, he did he was the head coach for the South All-Stars in the All-Star game. They won the game. I asked him about that. He said he had a lot of fun, great time, really enjoyed coaching all those great players.
2nd and 10. Walsh again going to throw, going over the middle man there. Tianabek bobbles, makes the catch inside the 5, touchdown, Catholic Memorial.
Well, they made that look easy. That was a good throw. He's really on his game throwing tonight. He's a little erratic when I watched him in practice, but that was Tianabek did a good job of staying with the ball. Was able to step out of the tackle, and the route is definitely on.
Tianabek with the touchdown reception, the 4th thrown tonight by Walsh. Farr was the last man back that time defensively, but Tianabek able to tip it to himself. And now it'll be a fake as they'll try and run the fake there that time. And boy, the holder nowhere to go that time. Pat White, the holder. And I'm not sure if that was a call play or if he had trouble with that snap.
I don't think they would. They don't have any reason to fake it now. Why would you show your fakes in a game where you're ahead 41-0?
There is a penalty on Waukesha South here. Looks like one of those illegal participation penalty here. So we'll get a retry here on the extra point.
Now some people might wonder, why are they're ahead 35-0, why are they passing the ball? Well, there are a lot of theories on this, but you have to remember that Memorial, even though they're winning easily, they have a lot of season left to play. And they have some young players that need some experience. They need to work on some of the things in game conditions. They play Arrowhead, who's probably the number one contender for the title in the Classic 8 this year. They play them next week.
Downstairs to our 3rd member of our crew, Mike McGivern.
Hey guys, as I told you earlier, I was on the sidelines coaching over at Dominican in the old Metro, and with about 2 minutes to go in the game, I think we were losing Memorial 48-0, and they ran a double reverse bomb for a touchdown. And after the game, I said to Coach Young, I said, man, was that really necessary? And he said, you know what, why don't you guys get a little better so that doesn't happen to you again? So I got a feeling that it doesn't matter what the score is, he's going to keep playing the way that he wants to play. And after the game, he's going to talk to the boys from South and say, hey, if you don't want this to happen again, you need to get better.
Good story, Mike. Good story.
That's the Bill Young of many years ago. I was talking to Bill the night before the game, and he says to me, Coach, he says, I've mellowed a little bit. I said, well, I'm going to watch you throughout the game, and then I'll decide if that's true. He has mellowed a little bit. I think he keeps it in perspective a little bit better. I know he used to get really depressed on, and we talked about that a little bit, about, you get yourself in a situation where the expectations are that you're going to win every time, and inadvertently you put pressure on yourself, and that starts to eat away at you. It is, and nobody's feeling sorry for Bill Young. He's a terrific coach. He's got good players. There's no doubt about it.
Good news for the Black Shirts. Broussard back deep to receive this kick. He was out that last series with a minor injury, but he's back in there now. Going to short hop this kick, though, as he takes it out across the 20. Stutter step to the 25, and it'll be stacked up there. 15-yard return by Broussard out to the 25-yard line.
Just can't find a crease to get going.
Colum there to make the stop.
I'm really impressed by Brissett. He's only 153 pounds, 5'7", 153. Obviously the littlest player on the field. But he's got great balance. He doesn't go down easily. And, he's like that Timex watch. He takes a licking and keeps on ticking. And I think that says a lot for him.
Now let's see what Johnson does here in the waning seconds of this first half. And he'll turn and give to Kisha. And he'll take it right there to the near side. Mark Cage there to make the stop. Gain of about 2 on the play. And that may just run out the clock here to end this first half. Waukesha South in no hurry to get another play here, or maybe. Let's see. They're not going to get this one off, and the half will come to an end here at Holub Stadium in Waukesha. A half dominated by Catholic Memorial here tonight, and Charlie Walsh with an outstanding night. 4 touchdown passes here in this first half, and it's been all Crusaders through the first 24 minutes. So some regrouping here for the homestanding Black Shirts during this halftime here tonight, and for the Crusaders, just need to keep their focus here going into this second half. As you see the brain trust there for the Waukesha Catholic Memorial huddling up here before they hit the locker room.
There's 2 Hall of Fame coaches in that picture. Coach Young on the left, and then the man with the goatee beard, that's Ed Bauman, who was inducted into the Hall of Fame this year. Bill's got a lot of former players that coach with him, and we've got a good thing going.
Let's go downstairs to Mike McGivern.
Head coach Waukesha South. Really tough first half for your guys. Second half, you're going to be looking for some positives at this point. You get into halftime and talk to these boys a little bit.
Well, first of all, we need to mentally focus. There's way too many errors on special teams, inexcusable in my opinion. So we got to iron that out, and then we just need to focus on one play at a time and try to turn this around and make something happen.
I listened real quickly to your back Broussard ask the lineman, boys, just give me a seam. Just give me a seam to get through. If you give me the seam, I'll break one. And I think second half these boys might try to do that for them.
Well, they need to dig down and get a push, because right now we're not even neutralizing their defensive line. They're pushing us back, so everything bounces back.
You bet, Coach. Get to the locker room. Good luck the second half. Let's get you a break. Other side of the break, we'll get you back up to the box with Dick Basham. This is Thursday Night Lights High School Football Game of the Week, presented by Wendy's.
Right now, we'd like to highlight our very special student, the Boucher Automotive Group, proud to bring you tonight's presentation of our Scholar Athlete of the Week, Diana Tompkins, sales guru at Boucher Chevy here at Waukesha, presented our Scholar Athlete of the Week award to Greta Davis from Catholic Memorial High School. Greta has a great 4.34 GPA. This is Molly Pugh from Waukesha South High School. Molly ranks in the top 10% of her class with a 4.1 GPA, participates in cross-country basketball and soccer. She was chosen twice as captain in cross-country and awarded the Athletic Director Award. Molly is a member of the National Honor Society and selected as a Badger Girls State Representative and a drum major for the past 3 years as part of the marching band. Tonight's Scholar Athlete from Waukesha South. And Greta Davis also handed out our award. There she is. That is Greta Davis from Catholic Memorial High School, a great 4.34 GPA and is ranked 4th in her class. She participates in volleyball and soccer, was part of a state championship team in both sports. Greta is a member of the National Honor Society and has been voted second team all-conference in both volleyball and soccer. Volunteers her time with the youth soccer program for disabled kids and is active in other social awareness programs. Tonight's Scholar Athletes will be in the running to receive a $5,000 scholarship courtesy of the Boucher Automotive Group. One of our weekly Scholar Athletes will be chosen to receive that award at the end of the season. Dominant half by the Crusaders, 42-0. Once again downstairs into Mike McGivern.
Hey, boys, thanks a lot. We're here with the First Bank Financial Center, boys. A couple of my favorite guys. We're talking high school, talking Sussex Hamilton. He was a stud back then, but we'll get to that in a minute. Pat Goza, sales manager, First Bank Financial Center. Jason Schiller. Pat, tell us a little bit about sales and what you do at First Bank.
Well, I'm a sales manager for the mortgage team. First Financial Bank, first off, is a strong community-based bank, very healthy financially. We are the second oldest bank in the state of Wisconsin. We have 9 full-service branches and opening our 10th next March in Grafton. For the lending side, we're the #1 SBA lender for the last 2 years. And mortgage lending, our passion, we have 12 lenders servicing the 4-county area, along with our office in Madison servicing Dane County.
Excellent. Thanks, Jason. Let's talk a little bit about what you do at First Bank Financial Center.
I am a home loan lender for residential financing.
And business is good?
Business is great right now, especially with these low interest rates.
You bet. Boys, I got to tell you, I was at First Bank this week in Oconomowoc, and when you guys talk about being a community bank, that's just not a slogan for you. That's something you guys truly believe in your core.
Absolutely. We are there to service the community in lots of different ways.
And you do. Last thing, I expected to see you at the Sussex-Hamilton game last week because you graduated from there. Were you a big football player?
I actually wasn't. I played a little bit of basketball, but I was in band. I was the drummer, so.
And he was a heck of a band, I'm telling you. Let's get to a break. Other side of the break, back up to the booth with John Weiser and Dick Basham.
Crusaders dominating the ball game through the first half here tonight, 42-0 over the homestanding Blackshirts from Waukesha South. As we get into our highlight package here this first half, we're going to see plenty of white jerseys, I'm sure.
Well, we probably will. I don't know. That 0, there wasn't a lot. You don't get a lot of highlights when you have a 0.
Well, as we said, impressive first half for Waukesha Catholic Memorial. As they came out, they meant business right from the opening get-go here. As Tianabek with a nice run here and set them up with good field position early in the contest. And then Townsend with a nice pounding run here.
Right, straight up the middle, yep. And that's how they do it. They run the edges, they run the middle, they throw the ball.
For the black shirts, Namowitz and Broussard bottled up here in this first half. Really nice job by the front line here for the Crusaders. Again, this is a team that had Broussard coming in, had 5 touchdowns last week in a win. As you get another look at Townsend and the holes he's been able to get up the middle. And Walsh tonight, 4 touchdown passes, the first of 4 here.
Long touchdown to Tianabek. You can see Townsend's a real bruiser. He makes that first guy miss and gets that extra yard. Just Tianabek again on the punt return. Cuts back, tackled by the punter, Noska.
Beautiful fade route here.
Long fade route. This is Biden, the young sophomore receiver, making the jump ball. Here's Broussard on the kickoff return. You see the good solid tackling by Memorial. That wasn't a highlight there, I don't think. This is Alec Coker on the punt return here. You can see what kind of speed he's got. Tall, lanky kid who's certainly going to grow and fill out as the years go on. He's only a sophomore. Broussard again up into the middle of the fray for a first down. I believe here's Namowitz on the little swing pass, cuts back inside for a nice gain.
Walsh on the play fake.
Yeah, fake to Townsend the play they've been running, and then he keeps it for the long touchdown run there. They didn't show the whole thing.
Defensive highlight of the night right there for Waukesha South.
Right. That's a plunge into the end zone for a touchdown with Townsend, I believe. And those numbers, statistics don't lie in this case right here. It's 13-9. I'm surprised that Waukesha has 9 first downs, but 13 for Memorial, 175-49. 147-20, 322 yards to 69. No turnovers for Memorial, 1 for Waukesha South, which isn't actually too bad considering what the score is. So with numbers like that, you would expect the score to be a little uneven, and that's where we find ourselves.
Balanced attack for Catholic Memorial, almost equal numbers there on rushing and passing tonight, and that translates into the big lead that we have here through one half of play.
They've had a lot of people touch the ball, and they spread it around really well.
Yeah, 1 turnover, the interception that led to a touchdown tonight for the Crusaders from Catholic Memorial, who, coming off a loss last week to Riverside, meant business here tonight, and they came out and established themselves early on here this evening. 42-0 Crusaders through one half of play. Once again, downstairs, Mike McGivern.
Hey guys, let me tell you, if you want the best mortgage, the best thing about anything you need to know about lending, this Jason Schiller, he's the guy. But you know what? We had him on a minute ago, and he forgot the most important thing that he had to do in this interview.
I forgot to say hi to my kids, Liam and Garrett, and to my wife, Colleen. Hi, guys. See you soon.
There you go. Now get out of here. It's too warm to be sleeping outside. Hey, we've got Dan Domak. He is the athletic director here at Waukesha South. Dan, you guys are trying to raise an awful lot of money to get the fields here in Waukesha going. Talk a little bit about that.
We're trying to do a $1.8 million project for a turf project out here in Waukesha. Glenn Norder, our facilities director, is leading the charge on this. The other two ADs at North, Bob Blessington and Todd Hensick at West, and myself are working with different individuals to try to help us do this. Right now we're in a major letter writing campaign, and hopefully within the next month we'll kind of see what our numbers are at.
What's the total number that you need to get all three fields done, and what type of turf are you guys going to?
We're going to be going with the turf that's out at Kettle Moraine. We took a look at Arrowhead's turf and Kettle Moraine's turf, and our players told us they want to play on the Kettle Moraine turf. We're looking at $1.8 million, and that's a huge amount of money. We're not taking any school district dollars for this project. It's going to be all fundraised money, and we won't be able to start the project until we have all the money.
Man, you know, I wish you luck with that. If people want to get involved, they can get a hold of you at the school here?
Yes, they can get a hold of me, and they can also go to the fieldoddreams.com website to take a look at how they can help us out.
Excellent. A couple of Mesmer boys here trying to raise some money for the fields. Dan, it's good to see you again. Say hi to your family.
I'll do that.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Let's get to a break. Other side of the break, we'll get back up to the booth with John Weiser and Dick Basham.
Crusaders leading the Black Shirts here through one half of play as we get a look at our Wisconsin Lutheran College leaderboard here tonight, and some great numbers posted here by both teams.
Well, Walsh is having a career night. 6 out of 7 passing for 147 yards, 3 TDs, 6 carries for 105 yards. That's close to 12 yards a carry, I think. And then Coker has had an interception, and he's got a couple tackles involved there. He's the safety man, as we said back there in our opening. Broussard, 11 carries, 36 yards. That's well under his average. He's been the main man for him. He's got 1 reception for 10 yards, and then Rasmussen, he's got four solo tackles and 1 assist in the middle. So South needs to find a way. You know, they need to, I guess. It's obvious they're not going to win the game. They need to have some small gains here and some goals that they try to achieve and get through the night, regroup, and come back next week and start over again. I think for Memorial, they're going to probably, I would be disappointed if they didn't substitute a little bit and give some of the younger guys a chance to play a little bit, especially this early in the year.
Our leaderboard tonight brought to you by Wisconsin Lutheran College, Academic Excellence, Christian Leadership, 37-3. The Badgers on top of UNLV at the half. Same situation here, 42-0. Crusaders on top of the Black Shirts. We'll step out, be back with third quarter play right after this. Thursday Night Lights presented by Wendy's on My 24. Once again, a big thank you tonight to the great folks at Milwaukee High Lift for helping bring our great pictures to you tonight. They have provided the scissor lift for our cameras tonight, so for any aerial platform need or rental, sales, and service, call the great folks at Milwaukee High Lift or visit them online at MilwaukeeHighlift.com. Well, you were in the black shirt locker room here. What are you telling if you're Coach Rusch?
Well, I think I agree with him. They need to focus a little bit. They've had too many mental mistakes, and that can happen when the game gets away from you real early. But I think, like I said a minute ago, some smaller goals. Let's get the linemen back in the game and start getting our blocks a little bit better. I think they need to complete some passes. I think as this year goes on, they need to find a way to complete some passes so Corey Broussard can get some room to run.
If you're Coach Young over there on that sideline for the Crusaders, I imagine it's focus.
Yeah, I think don't do anything foolish. Standing around on the football field gets you hurt. You play hard, and we'll get you out and we'll get some do some rotating here. Get some second team guys in there, give them a few licks. They have a long road to hoe. They have 6 more conference games after this, including the tougher teams in the league. So it's a night. It's a coaching night. You coach all the way to the end of this game. There's things to be learned all the time, and nobody knows that more than Bill Young and Dave Rush.
Now, Memorial had won the toss, deferred to the second half, so they will receive to our left. And we will have a continuous clock here in this second half because of the 35-point rule. So it'll be Coker and Tianabek awaiting the kick here. This time it's going to be, on the kickoff anyways, it'll be Isaiah Pitchford with the run-up and kick. And we'll angle this one to the far side. Tianabek will take it there. Across the 20, cuts it up to the middle 30. Sidesteps a man at the 35 and out to the 37-yard line. A 22-yard return that time as he was brought down by Kitcha. Like James Kitcha there, the junior, 5'11", 210, the linebacker. So Catholic Memorial with the first offensive set here of our second half. Walsh has been on fire tonight.
See what their philosophy seems to be. They're in their standard formation. Shotgun with one running back and a wing back.
They'll give it to Townsend. Townsend will pound it forward. Derek Nostra there to make the stop. Townsend with a good run there of 7 yards. That looks like a new quarterback in there now for Catholic Memorial. I thought it was number 4 there. That might be Pat White at quarterback here in the second half as Townsend finishes off that run of 8.
That's who it is. Yeah, there's really no reason to have Charlie Walsh in there. He's done a night's work already, and it's a long season.
Pat White, junior, 6'4", 187. Good height at that quarterback spot this year.
Right.
Townsend again will try and pound the middle. He'll be stopped short of the first down, about a yard shy as he was wrestled down there.
Running that same basic play where the wingback comes across and kind of traps the defensive lineman, and he just take it right up the middle.
Matt Dennert there, reserve linebacker, in on the stop defensively for the Black Shirts. Sets up a 3rd and 1 for Catholic Memorial.
I think they would just keep running it and keep the clock going. They have enough points to win. They have nothing else to prove.
Slot left, slot right, and they'll give it to Townsend. Oh, actually, it's White on the keep. He'll run it up the middle on the fake, and he'll get the first down short of midfield. Spotted just shy of the 50-yard line. Once again, Nostra there, the 6'3" outside linebacker for the Black Shirts.
Yeah, that's the companion play to the first 2 plays they ran, where the quarterback decides to show the ball, and then he takes it back and follows that fullback right up in there on the quarterback keeper. White looks like a nice rangy kid that probably be the incumbent quarterback next year.
About 4 yards a carry for Townsend. Tianabek here out of the slot from the far side. Not much there. Is not able to get the block he needed there that time to catch the edge. Meindl was out there in front.
Nice job by Pitchford coming up and forcing that play inside. He played the blocker really well and forced Tianabek to lose his feet when he tried to stop too quick.
Get a look at the head coach for Waukesha South, Dave Rush. Trying to bounce back from a 3-6 year a year ago. Gain of 1 on the play, 2nd down 9 from midfield. White with time. Throwing left side, and it goes through 2 receivers' hands, incomplete. Schulis out there defensively.
Yeah, Schulis was in perfect position to cover that. Actually, it was a decent throw. There were 2 receivers in line with the ball, but it landed in between both of them.
Karszewski was the intended target. Senior, 5'9", 159. So one of the few times tonight, Memorial facing a 3rd and long, 3rd and about 9 here.
Pat White showed me that he has a really nice throwing motion, good strong arm. Tall, he can see, that's for sure.
Meindl split out to the far side. I'll give it to Townsend with room. Townsend up the middle, close to a first down. So he was wrapped up there, finished off that run strongly. Paul Carter
made the play,
outside linebacker there on the stop.
Good solid tackle, but like a good running back should, Townsend forged ahead and got the extra yard on the hit there. You can see right there, wraps him up, and he gets another 2 yards on when he falls down. So that a good running back does that.
Gain of 8, 4th and 1. Early here in this 3rd quarter.
Those extra yards after, they call it yaks, yards after contact.
Black shirts showing blitz. They'll give to Townsend. First down inside the 40 down to the 38-yard line. And a First Bank first down. Once again, I'd like to thank our sponsor, First Bank Financial Center, on our first downs this year. First Bank Financial Center. Discover the community bank difference. Kitcha on the stop that time for the Black shirts.
Well, it's the methodical offense we saw in the first half here, just plugging away, and then going to the pass if they have to.
From the 38-yard line.
It's typical of Memorial teams over the years.
Townsend pounded at the line of scrimmage, still able to squeak out about 3 on the play. Curtis Trotter in on the stop defensively for Waukesha South. Gain of about 2 sets up 2nd and 8 here. A little bit of confusion as they break the huddle here. Pat White in relief of Charlie Walsh, the starting quarterback tonight. Throwing 4 touchdowns in that first half. Going to come back over the near side, incomplete, looking for Bodden. The split end on a little post route that time, and it was overthrown.
Kind of a deep slant or a quick post, and he was open. And if we get a replay, you see Pat White, I think, had his weight on his back foot, and whenever you do that, the quarterback has a tendency to throw it high, which is what he did.
Once again, downstairs to Mike McGivern.
Hey, I know that Coach Bashams remember the song, What's New, Pussycat? Remember that song? Look at this. Guys, Ashley and Ashley, both sophomores. What's going on with the outfits?
There are themes for every football game. There's like a different theme, and this theme is animal theme. And it's like everyone just dresses up as an animal.
And Ashley, how'd you guys pick Pussycats here?
Well, I had a dance for Palms, so then Ashley just brought me bunny ears, so I just kind of went with it.
Yeah, I went bunny ears, whatever. Guys, well done. You guys have fun at the games?
Okay, thank you.
You bet. Have fun. Thanks a lot. Back up to the booth.
Tough job you got down there, Mike. Yeah.
I was thinking more of Josie and the Pussycats. That's more of my, back in my day, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. The old cartoon show on Saturday mornings. Mike could probably relate to that. Incomplete pass on 3rd down sets up 4th and long, and so punt here for Catholic Memorial. But before we do, we've got a penalty. Last pass play intended for Meindl, the split end over the middle.
Right.
So we'll check out our infraction here. False start penalty or procedure here against Catholic Memorial. DQ Smith standing inside the 10, awaiting the punt here.
For the corner.
We're going to try and get this one in the corner, and that's going to bounce. And it takes a perfect bounce to the sideline here, out of bounds at the 3-yard line. Can you get your wedge play to do that?
Well, I wish I could. I'll tell you, that ball took a right turn on it when it hit the ground. That was amazing.
4:41 to go here in the 3rd quarter. We'll step out and take a break. It's been all Catholic Memorial through the first 2.5.
Hey guys, I'm here with Mark Martin. He's the Director of Sales at My24. Hey Mark, what a great opportunity for people like Boucher and Wendy's First Bank Financial Center on National Guard to get involved in a real grassroots opportunity.
That's right, Mike. When we launched TNL last year, we were looking for local companies that were interested in doing grassroots marketing, getting involved in the community, and we've just been so fortunate to have some just amazing sponsors on board with us.
The thing that surprised me, each and every sponsor that I get a chance to talk to talks about other community service and community projects that they're doing. These people really do understand the word community.
That's right, Mike. We're involved a lot in getting back into the community at My24. We have a lot of great initiatives coming up, and there's some amazing opportunities to really give back in the local communities.
Hey, if anybody out there, any sponsors want to get involved, is it too late or can they still get involved?
No, you can certainly contact the stations. Just go to our website, my24milwaukee.com. You can send us an email, give us a call, and we'll get together and we'll talk.
Excellent. Mark Martin, Director of Sales, contact him and get involved. Back to you boys up in the booth.
Thank you, Mike and Mark. Appreciate that. Gain of 2 on the play. Broussard, his first carry of the second half.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised they send him up the middle so much. And a 157-pounder isn't going to really go in there and pound the ball in there, but he goes up in there like he meant it. I have to give him credit.
Second and long here for the Black Shirts. Backed up inside their own 5 on that beautiful punt, and now penalty marker before the snap.
Penalty flag on the play.
Kind of surprised here, week 3, and we've had a lot of penalties here tonight.
Right.
You'd think, that first 2 weeks you'd get that out of your system, but a lot of procedure calls here tonight on both teams.
It is a little hot, and as Coach Lombardi used to say, fatigue makes cowards of us all, which basically means your brain can turn to mush in those situations, and I think it's just mental. It's mostly mental mistakes.
Move the ball back inside the 3-yard line. Setting up a second and about 11 here for the Black Shirts. Johnson in under center. Broussard, the lone man in the backfield. And we'll give it to Namowitz, and he'll take it out across the 5, maybe the 7-yard line. Logan Jensen there on the stop for the Crusaders.
Well, that's a good call. That's their power back, that's for sure. Got a little bit of room to operate. Maybe it's a pass would be in order here.
So third and long here for the Black Shirts. Waukesha South. Got to take it one play at a time. We heard Coach Rush talk about that they going into halftime is work at one positive play at a time. Build from there as you get a good look at Namowitz, the other fine running back here for Waukesha South. Third and about 7 here. Ball on the 7-yard line. Johnson wants to roll out, and he's going to be dumped in the end zone. Did he make it out? That's the question there, as the referee is going to give him forward progress just across the goal line at the 1 as we get another look.
Well, he's trying to sprint out, I think, so he can set up for a pass, and the penetration by Memorial was just too much there. And
sets up a punt here, again, underneath the goalpost for the second time tonight. They have to punt out of their own end zone.
I think Mark Cage was the guy who was in there and forced that play.
You are correct, Coach. That was Cage in on that stop. Good snap. Low kick, low spiral. It'll bounce, and Tannebuck did not touch it. It'll roll dead at the 47-yard line, setting up the Crusaders here late in this third quarter. Want to remind you that Thursday Night Lights is available streaming live online. Log on to my24milwaukee.com. Click on the TNL link. You can also find our complete game schedule, watch archived videos of our games, and even post your own photos. That's my24milwaukee.com. They're New York's elite squad, and they handle the worst cases. Don't miss Stabler and Benson on Law & Order SVU, Monday nights at 7, starting September 19th, right here on Milwaukee's My24. Once again, White at quarterback, going to try pitch. It's loose, backward lateral, and I think the Black Shirts have recovered. First turnover of the night by Catholic Memorial. Nostra there to make the recovery on the bad pitch. Little miscommunication there. We'll get another look at it here, perhaps. Finally, a positive play here for the Waukesha South team. Simply a bad pitch that time.
Yeah, right behind him.
And so each team now with a turnover as we'll head into the fourth quarter here at Ken Holub Stadium in Waukesha. All Catholic Memorial here tonight. Crusaders leading the Waukesha South Black Shirts 42-0. First and 10 for the Black Shirts to start our fourth quarter. Second unit in now on defense for the Crusaders. Johnson rolling left. Has time, flips it out over the middle, and it's nearly caught and dropped, incomplete. Threw it into traffic that time. Schulis, the intended receiver, broken up by Tyler Larson.
Yeah, Tyler Larson made a nice play. That's probably the best throw that Bobby Johnson's made tonight. And Namowitz, it was a catchable ball, but Tyler Larson came across the top and knocked it out of his hands. A nice play. He's the free safety, I believe. He's replaced Alec Kokar, who was the starter.
Second and 10 from the Crusader 43-yard line. Broussard, the lone man in the backfield. Fumbled snap, ball loose, and Johnson able to fall on it immediately that time. Covered up on the play by Brent Christensen. Brent, a defensive lineman, senior, 5'11", 230 with the cover up. Now it's 3rd and 10 for Waukesha South. Never got the snap.
Right.
Again, a tough night with the humidity. The balls are getting a little slick and tough to get a hold of it.
I think 55 was Corey Nader is now playing center, and he's not the normal center.
Broussard trying to step out of a tackle, takes it across the 40 down to the 38-yard line, stops short of the first down. Rasecki there, and Prager, Danny Prager, in there on the stop for Catholic Memorial as we get another look.
Breaks 1 tackle, breaks 2 tackles. For 157 pounds, he's a real fighter.
Again, 4th in the 100 meters last year, 10.8.
Right. That's a very nice time.
And that was 4th.
And that was only 4th, right.
Tight formation here on 4th down. Namowitz in motion. Inside handoff goes to Broussard. Breaks the tackle, still on his feet, inside the 25, moving the pile to the 24-yard line. Good strength that time by Broussard, able to finish off the run. Nate Erdman and friends able to finally bring him down.
That was a really nice run. He keeps his feet churning. You'll see right here, it's an inside handoff, follows the 22 Kitsch over the guard, breaks a tackle there, keeps fighting. Nice run, very nice run.
Like the fact that he finishes those runs. He's hard to bring down.
Yeah, he really is.
Low center of gravity at 5'7".
Yeah.
Again, Namowitz in motion. Johnson wants to throw. Pumps once, now flips it out into the flat. Diving grab, nearly made. It goes incomplete. Looking for Paul Carter that time, the intended receiver, in and out of his hands, and a good pitch there by Johnson.
Yeah. He had Namowitz out there. He had Corey Broussard out there. Going for the deep man coming across and just couldn't quite stay with it.
Carter will walk back to that huddle saying, I should have had that one. The senior.
That would have been a great catch. Most of the time, high school kids, when they dive for the ball, they don't catch it. And my philosophy always was, don't stay on your feet. If you can't catch it, stay on your feet. It's probably not worth it.
Well, 2nd down and 10 from the Crusader 24. Again, fumble on the snap, and it's picked up by one of the linemen. He's going to take it around the left side and make something out of nothing there. Heads-up play there. That's by
Calvin Horstmeyer.
Yeah, Kelvin Horstmeyer, the junior, able to recover that one. Again, Prager finally brought him down, but heads-up play there by one of the offensive linemen.
I think Corey Nader is now the center, and Andy Alan Sanchez he's right here on the sideline, so I don't know if there's anything wrong with him or what, but he was the starting center.
It looked like that time it was Horstmeyer was the pulling guard from that right side, and coming across and says, my goodness, loaf of bread on the ground, got to pick that up.
Right.
3rd and 7 now from the 22. Broussard in motion, he'll get the pitch. Looking for the edge here on the near side. Can't quite find the edge that time as the Crusaders had him hemmed in. Took away that cutback that time. Good play on defense by Showman, the defensive back, to cut that one back inside.
Well, you can see how well coached Catholic Memorial is because they're a second unit in there. They're pursuing perfectly. They're keeping their position. Everybody's on their feet. There's no place for, I don't care how fast Corey Broussard is, there's no place for him to cut back.
So 4th down. Offense still on the field here for Waukesha South. Namowitz will line up in a wing here to the near side. Kitcha in the backfield. Pitcher on the reverse that time. Fumbled the football to Namowitz. It's on the ground. A scrum for it inside the 20. Either way, it's going to be short of the first down, and the Black Shirts will give this one up on downs here with 6:40 to go here in this ball game.
That's a double handoff. It hands to Pritchard. He hands quickly to Namowitz, but he didn't get the handle and ended up kind of kicking it down the field. And turns out it was a turnover no matter what because he didn't get a first down.
Not sure if Namowitz actually got a handle on that at all.
I think it hit him in the chest. Yep. He never got the handle. It just trickled out in front of him.
So a first bank first down here for the Crusaders. Well on their way to victory number 2 on this season, opening up conference play here tonight with a win. And it's a big one. That'll be a big momentum booster going into next week.
I think they can feel good about themselves. They've executed, the first units have executed very well. They've been very sound.
Well, we'll take a break here. 42-0 in favor of Catholic Memorial. Timeout on the field. Thursday Night Lights in Waukesha, presented by Wendy's.
Hey guys, welcome back. We're here with the president of Waukesha Catholic Memorial, Father Hartman. Father, how are you tonight?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
You know, bless me, Father, for I've sinned my last confession. You know, I remember that from the old St. Peter and Paul days. Hey, tell me a little bit about what's going on at Catholic Memorial.
You know, Catholic Memorial, a lot of great things happening. All the kids started about 2 weeks ago. They're hitting the books. They're hitting their extracurriculars. We came off a great year last year with 25.3 ACT composite, 13 million in scholarships, and now we got a whole new group of kids starting out this year. A lot of enthusiasm, a lot of zeal. It's a great place.
You know, Father is a graduate from Catholic Memorial. We tried to figure out maybe 6 guys have become priests.
We think about 6 or so, yeah. We have 2 of us here in the Archdiocese. Father Dan Janicek and I are working here in Milwaukee, and then the others are spread throughout the world.
You know, he's got a degree in communications, so if you guys decide to get rid of me, Father Paul's the guy to go.
I could do color and play-by-play if I had to.
You got it. Thanks so much. Good luck this season. Excellent. Back to you boys in the booth.
Jake Piet with a nice run that time, brought down by Jordan Thompson. Mike, thank you. He's got the great job tonight. He did a great job on the sidelines tonight.
He does do a great job. And Father Hartman has done a great job on it. Yes, he really has.
Another first bank first down here for Catholic Memorial. Late here in this fourth quarter. Pat White in on relief of Walsh here tonight. Hands this one off. Big run, gain of about 10. Piet again on the nice run. The sophomore, 5'11", 170. Cody Bruce able to bring him down.
And see right there, just the quarterback just takes the ball, stands there, and waits for him to come and take it out of his hands, and it's a sprint to the sideline. He does a nice job.
9.5 on the carry that time.
Yeah, right. Piet is a second-generation Crusader. His dad played for Bill Young a few years back.
White from shotgun. Hand this one off again, and another good strong run into black shirt territory that time. This time it was Karszewski. Drew Karszewski, the senior 5'9", brought down by Kitcha. But not before he picks up another first down here for Memorial.
I think Drew had a brother who was the good running back for Memorial last year. Had a great season for him.
First and 10.
Piet
again around the far side with room. First down and more. Cuts it back across the 20, inside the 15, down to the 14-yard line before he is finally stopped there. Kyle Durham. Durham there on the stop. Kyle Durham. Charlie Walsh tonight took the second half off. 6 of 7. 3 touchdowns passing. 6 carries for over 100 yards tonight.
Yeah. Nice night's work, right.
Very productive first half tonight for Walsh. Converted linebacker to quarterback this year.
Good leader. He's a team captain. You know, a linebacker's always in the middle of the play, and a quarterback's always in the middle of the play. He's in the right position.
Karszewski again trying to work the left side, stacked up at the line of scrimmage. May have gotten a yard. In on the stop, Pat Barrett, sophomore. Teams are getting their reserves in.
Just tell them to line up and get a rotation, and every play you run some more guys in, give them all a chance to say they got on the field.
Karszewski in the backfield. Piet in motion, and he'll get the call. Coming around the right side with room. Inside the 10 to the 5, gets to the pylon. Late signal, touchdown, Catholic Memorial.
Well, that was his 4th carry, and he got about 15 yards in that carry, so that gives him 4 carries for 70 yards. So it's a nice average. There it is right there.
Got around to Dahlman that time. It was the outside linebacker.
You see the cupboard's not bare at the second team at Memorial either.
Well,
they do have some depth.
You know, we talked about it. They play in a conference where they're one of the smaller schools
Right.
in this league, and that gets them, I think, very well prepared for playoff
They
time.
do.
You know, you only need 5 wins to make the playoffs, and to play Division III. As that kick is blocked on the extra point attempt.
Well, we know what they're going to work on this week, and that's extra points. That's for sure.
They've had trouble tonight with that point after. 48-0 Catholic Memorial. We got a penalty on the play, though.
Yeah.
I think it's the second time tonight that
they had guys running off the field. They were offside. All kinds of problems. Yeah,
but talking about playing up in a conference like this, and then it really prepares you when you face schools your size in that 10th game of the year.
Well, there is a theory in sports that sometimes you play to the level of your competition. If your competition is good, then you're going to play well, and I think that's true in the Classic 8. Waukesha South is not one of the strongest teams in the league this year. But there aren't many weak teams in the league. They have 4 new coaches, so there's a lot of change there as well.
Well, you're talking Arrowhead and McWanago, and always going to be competitive there.
Waukesha West.
Waukesha West. Who can forget the Wolverines in the Division I champion a year ago? And again, playing up to your level of competition. One school here in southeast Wisconsin that's done that continually for the last several years has been the Catholic Central out in Burlington.
Oh, yeah, right.
Another example of a small school that's had great success, although off to an 0-2 start this year down there. But
and a lot of another thing I think that's underestimated and really important, and that is coaches have to learn how to use their talent and not be afraid to take a kid who maybe is not a starter at one position but could really help you someplace else and develop that depth chart. Because it is a long season, and by its nature of football, there are some injuries happening.
Very nice job. How about a nice round of applause for the National Guard?
So Namowitz this time will get a chance to return a kick. He stands deep, along with DQ Smith and Brandon Ramsby.
I think Namowitz is a guy probably that South needs to find a few more ways to get the ball in his hands. He's a little bit of a beast out there, and he's big, strong, and fast. Likes to hit people.
Touch on that here in just a moment as kick will sail into the end zone for the touchback. But going back to your point earlier on Waukesha South on offense, Broussard constantly pounding on the inside. Right. I would think Namowitz would be the complement there to try to work the inside and try and get Broussard out on the edges with his speed, because once he gets the corner with that 4.5, 4.8 speed, he's going to be tough to bring down.
Well, I kind of agree with that, and I don't want to second-guess the coaches. They see their kids every day, and they know what they want to do and understand their offense. But it does make a little more sense to send a 200-pounder that can bench 340 and squat 450 up into the middle, and then use that to keep the defense honest, and then bounce that sprinter to the outside. And they do that at times, but from a little different formation. I think the biggest improvement that South can make, they need to get Bobby Johnson in a position where he can complete some passes, because they're not going to win games by pounding the ball in there.
This will be Cannon Cooley in at quarterback, and they took so much time getting the play in.
And 12 guys in the field.
12 on the field, perhaps, but Cannon Cooley, a freshman, 5'10", 140, listed as a quarterback and a kicker on the roster. So he gets his first action of the night.
Wow. Well,
so a freshman quarterback in there now for Waukesha South.
That's a pretty big jump from 8th grade to freshman playing against Catholic Memorial.
Well, baptism by fire here tonight.
Exactly.
See what he can do. He'll pitch it out here to the near side. Pritchford coming here near side, the sophomore Pitchford. Gets it across the 25 to the 26. Good strong run by Pitchford there. 6', 160. Tackled by Prager again. Danny Prager's had a pretty good second half here as the second unit for Catholic Memorial.
Pitchford did a nice job of following his blockers there. And I have to give South credit. There's a lot of guys still out there hustling really hard, even though the game is not in doubt. And maybe this is a chance for coaches to see some of their younger players that maybe can play a little bit more than they thought and develop some depth.
Well, they're going to let him throw here. We'll swing it out here near side, looking to pass. Tip caught out across the 40 to the 41-yard line. Jordan Shuda that time able to make the catch. Krausert there, the defensive back, able to bring him down.
Well, I tell you, he showed me he's got a really nice arm. That was obviously a great catch, but the ball was in a position where he could catch it, and that's been the problem previously tonight. The ball is not in a position where the receivers can catch it. It's close, but that was a nice catch, throw and catch right there for the young quarterback.
15-yard pickup and a first down to the 41-yard line for Waukesha South. Under a minute to go here in the ball game. Try the inside handoff that time, Ramsby, and he is stacked up, maybe gotten 3, maybe 4 on the play. Nick Carfanta, the defensive lineman, able to bring him down there. Gain of 4 on the play, 2nd and 6, maybe one more play here for the freshman quarterback.
Right, I think he's shown he's got potential. I don't think you can win games in the Classic 8 playing a freshman quarterback, but he certainly has shown that he's got the poise, and right now his footwork and his skill set seems to be such that he can develop it when he grows, and he might be playing quarterback for 3 years out there making a block for
Pitchford that time on the double handoff, and he takes it into Crusader territory, and that'll finish off the ball game. Schultze on the stop, and the Crusaders go to 2-1 on the year, knocking off Waukesha South here tonight by a score of 49-0. And the Crusaders at 2-1 on the year. Black Shirts fall to 1-2 on the season. A tough night here for the Black Shirts as they just ran into a classic team, a very good team. The Crusaders, I think, smarting a little bit with that loss last week to Riverside. They felt that they needed to control that ball game and do a better job, and they wanted to prove something here tonight, and they did so in grand fashion, particularly that first half with the first units.
And they couldn't help but be looking ahead to next week's big game with Arrowhead. Certainly whoever wins that game has a leg up in the conference race, I would think. I think Bill Young, you have to give him credit. I think he played it right tonight. He played his first team in the first half, got a significant lead. And then in the second half, he didn't play a starting quarterback the second half. He pulled his reserves, or the starters out, put the reserves in, gave the kids a chance to play. I don't think you can accuse him of running up the score or anything like that. And South has got to regroup. Memorial is going to go back and build on this and hopefully give Arrowhead a good tussle next week.
Yeah, they've got Arrowhead next week at home, and should be a very good ball game here. Catholic Memorial at 2-1. And again, losing to Riverside last week after picking up the win the week before. Over West Dallas Central, coming back scoring the final 39 points in that ball game. But this one was never in doubt. It was finished off early, and the Crusaders going to get the big trophy here tonight. Looks like Mike McGivern getting set downstairs, and see if he's ready to go here. Let's toss it down to Mike McGivern.
Hey guys, hopefully you can hear me. Coach Bill Young, congratulations. You guys right off the bat kind of took control of this one.
Well, you know.
Hey, hold on. Hey, boys, that's enough. There you go.
We knew we had some firepower this year, and we've just got to play with a lot of emotion each week. And, the road's going to get tougher now facing Arrowhead next week, but it was a good start for us.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, guys, I want to certainly congratulate Catholic Memorial, 49-0 Thursday Night Lights Award. Well done, boys. Now cheer.
Well-earned victory here tonight. A very happy bunch of Crusader players tonight with our Thursday Night Light trophy and the banner presentation presented by the Wisconsin National Guard. So, again, we'll talk about their game now. They'll regroup here, work on a few things, but Arrowhead on the horizon for the Crusaders. A 49-0 victory over Waukesha South. We'll be back with more of our post-game Thursday Night Lights presented by Wendy's on My 24. Crusaders in dominating fashion here tonight, led 42-0 at the half, went on to a 49-0 defeat of the Black Shirts here tonight in Waukesha, and the Battle of Waukesha, as we take a look at some of the highlights of that second half.
Yeah, you saw a picture there of Bob Vitale talking to his defense.
This is Walsh. Yeah, that beautiful fade
first
pass.
First fade to Bodden and jumped up and took it away from Pitchford for a touchdown. There's that little post pattern to
Tiana Buck.
Tiana Buck, yeah, right. And played a little catch with himself there, but he was able to stay with it.
So tonight's Player of the Game award goes to, no doubt,
Charlie Walsh.
Charlie Walsh
right,
for Catholic Memorial, senior 5'11", 195, and he's with Mike McGivern downstairs.
Hey guys, thank you so much. Player of the game, Charlie Walsh, quarterback, Catholic Memorial, quarterback. Last year it was linebacker. He told me he likes playing quarterback, but not because he's a pretty boy. Congratulations, really good game tonight.
Thank you very much.
So tell us a little bit about the transition. You played a little bit at quarterback last year as well.
Yeah, I played 3 games last year because our starter got hurt. He was a senior last year. And then it was mostly we just ran a lot with me last year because it was hard to get the passing game down. And then I worked pretty hard in the offseason, and passing came real well.
Yeah, you know what? No doubt you worked hard in the offseason. You also play basketball and play a little bit of baseball as well. Your favorite sport is football during the football season?
Yeah, it just depends on the season what my favorite sport is.
Yeah, no doubt. Listen, congratulations, player of the game. Really fun to watch you guys play. Good luck next week. Big game next week.
Yeah, we got Arrowhead. We got to come out real fast again like we did and just play our hearts out.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, congratulations. Have a great year. Charlie Walsh, player of the game here tonight. Let's get back up to the booth.
Charlie Walsh, our player of the game from Catholic Memorial High School. As you saw there, 6 for 7 with 3 touchdowns tonight. And to Corey Broussard for Waukesha South, the black shirt player of the game tonight. And our Player of the Game award brought to you by the Wisconsin National Guard. We'll step out. More of our post-game continues from Ken Holub Stadium after this. Corey Broussard tonight, our Waukesha South player of the game, 13 carries, 54 yards, but also 57 return yards tonight. Trying to do a little bit of everything here, and great runner. Get him in space, and boy, he is tough to bring down.
Yeah, I agree. They need to throw him the ball out in the flat a little bit and just set him up so he can make use of that athletic ability a little bit more.
It's our player of the game for Waukesha South, brought to you by the Wisconsin National Guard. And
he had 57 return yards besides his rushing yards. Here's his final stats, and they indicate really what happened. I think we got looks like we got him backwards. The 17 first downs to 12 are right, but 283 yards rushing belongs to Memorial, and the 147 passing belongs to Memorial. The 430 belongs to Memorial as well. The turnovers, I think that speaks well for both teams. They only turned it over once apiece. But it was a dominating performance by Memorial in all aspects of the game, special teams, defense, offense, and that certainly bodes well for them going into the big game next week with Arrowhead.
Our final leaderboard brought to you by Wisconsin Lutheran College, Academic Excellence, Christian Leadership. Next week we head to Cedarburg as we get into North Shore play as Whitefish Bay takes on Cedarburg.
Yeah, that should be a real good contest. Both of those teams are very well coached. We did have Whitefish Bay on last year against Germantown. Jim Tejan's been around for a long time. Brian Lier from Cedarburg been around a long time as well. They both play rock'em sock'em football. So I think it should be a really good football game, and looking forward to it.
We'll finish out with highlights, but we'll join you again next Thursday night, Cedarburg and Whitefish Bay. For Mike McGivern, Dick Basham, and our entire My 24 crew, John Weiser saying good night from Waukesha.